tonight, it's my night, because I'm simply the best. I'm the champion, and I'm the GOAT of women's MMA.
125, it's my weight, it's my division, it's my field, and here is my rules.
The exciting thing about this fight is that Max has no holes in his game. But I create windows where there are none.
Tonight I'm gonna remind the world and show the world who I am, and because they must have forgot, you know, people have been away for a little bit, but I'm back, blessed hair in full effect, let's go.
Well, the MMA leader once again making its presence felt in the Great White North tonight. We come to you live from Toronto, where the energy is undeniable and a capacity crowd is on hand to witness no fewer than 2 UFC championship showdowns. Live from Scotiabank Center in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, this is UFC 231, Holloway versus Ortega. Presented by EA Sports UFC 3, available now for up to 70% off. Play as over 200 UFC favorites, including legendary Fight Night champion characters Andre Bishop and Isaac Frost. Get it today. Closed captioning is available for tonight's telecast. The broadcast is also available in Spanish, brought to you by UFCEspanol.com. And with that, I'm John Anik. As always, thank you for being with us on pay-per-view tonight. So they were supposed to fight in July, but at that point, UFC featherweight champion Max Holloway was deemed medically unfit to compete. Tonight, though, the wait is expected to be worth it, as the Hawaiian Holloway looks to extend one of the greatest singular runs this octagon has ever seen against the oncoming and undefeated Californian, the #1 contender, Brian T. City Ortega. Thrilled to welcome in my broadcast partners, the legend Joe Rogan, future legend Paul Felder. I know, Joe, you can hardly contain your enthusiasm for this main event tonight, sir.
I am so excited. This is everything I look forward to in a fight. Here you got an undefeated challenger who's one of the best jiu-jitsu practitioners in the sport. And you got a champion that's young and hungry and keeps getting better every time we see him. He's so good technically. He's so good with his distance. And both men have real all-time great potential.
Yeah, this is one of those cases where it's happening when it's supposed to happen. These guys are in their prime. They're young. #1 versus the champion. This is what it's supposed to be, and it's happening tonight. 2 great title fights tonight.
All right, we start with the red corner, the incumbent, the champion Max Holloway. The winning streak is 12. Tonight, after a lot of adversity, he makes his first start of 2018.
I think he is the best featherweight champion ever. And I think he's got the best use of distance in the division. He's so confident, but he's also just so damn tough. He's got that Hawaiian scrap mentality combined with a fantastic technical level. He's so good on his feet, so good on the ground, and he's got confidence and momentum, and he puts a pace on you, baby. This guy puts a pace on you like no one else in the division. And he's got the confidence of defending the title so many times.
How about Brian Ortega? This kid is young, and he is a finisher. It doesn't matter if you're outpointing him, beating him up for 2 rounds. Brian Ortega has a way of finding out a way to get you on the ground or knock you out of the feet. His submission skills are second to none. He gets a hold of your neck like we talked about. He is going to put you to sleep or you are going to tap out. And I like how gritty he is. He's not afraid to be in the pocket. He's a fighter. He gets in there. He likes boxing. He likes trading shots. And his jiu-jitsu is sick.
Well, it was intensity personified at the weigh-in a day ago. I like how you let that breathe a little bit, Joe, with the separation between fighters.
And this is a fantastic stare-down. No trash talk, no nonsense. Just staring into each other's souls. Mutual respect. Both men recognize this is number 1 and number 2 about to find out who the new king is or who remains the king.
All right, we'll see if we get a changing of the guard here in a matter of hours. We are guaranteed, though, to get one new UFC champion here tonight. The UFC Women's Flyweight title is vacant, and Valentina Shevchenko trying to finally break through here against the former strawweight queen, Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
Oh, my goodness. You want to talk about an absolute savage in the women's division. Valentina can do it from wherever, on the feet, and she's been doing it most of her career at 135 pounds against bigger, stronger women. We saw when she dropped down to 125 pounds, she was just dominant no matter where the fight went. She had good trips, takedowns, submission skills. She's got arm bars, but more importantly, her speed and counter ability are second to none. She's a savage, and she doesn't care about anything other than winning.
I think this is the perfect weight class for both women. I think it's great for Valentina to go down, and I think it's imperative for Joanna to come up. We have to remember that she was the boogie woman just a little while ago. This was the scariest woman in MMA. And now, not having to cut that additional 10 pounds, I think we're going to see a more invigorated, a more dynamic, and certainly a more durable Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
3 times Jędrzejczyk and Shevchenko met in amateur Muay Thai, the last of which was in 2008. This will be the 4th meeting between them. First, though, with an MMA rule set tonight.
Well, that is a big deal because Valentina won all 3 of their encounters in Muay Thai.
Right.
But this is MMA, and I think both women are very, very experienced in the sport now. I would give the edge, though, on the ground to Valentina, and when you consider the fact that she won the Muay Thai exchanges,
right,
it makes that pretty significant.
Yeah, that makes it so interesting, right? She's already beaten her in all these stand-up exchanges, but we've seen her evolution as an MMA fighter and her ground and her strength.
Yeah.
And you saw her at the weigh-in. She was absolutely shredded. In this matchup is so intriguing for that reason.
Joanna has already become a champion.
Yeah, right. True.
9 UFC title fights for Joanna, just the 2nd tonight for Valentina Shevchenko. What an atmosphere in this arena. Always great to have this throaty Canadian crowd behind us. Here's a look at what else is coming up. The rest of the fight card is brought to you by EA Sports UFC 3, available now for up to 70% off. Buy it today on Xbox One and receive a copy of Fight Night Champion to play through Xbox One backwards compatibility. Available for a limited time. Guaranteed to entertain. Brazilian Alex Cowboy Oliveira has been putting guys away left and right. Tonight he makes his 14th UFC appearance and will do so with momentum as he draws Iceland's Gunnar Nelson, a Renzo Gracie Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt who stayed at home to prepare for this one. And Gunny appears to be in the shape of his life in advance of this pay-per-view showcase here tonight. Also on tap in the featherweight division, a big spot for accomplished Muay Thai striker Hakeem Dawodu. The Canadian hopeful offers up an aggressive style and could very well be buoyed by the local support tonight here in Toronto. But always down to bite down on the mouthpiece. Enter Boston's Kyle Bochniak. He is a hard-nosed former welder who gained a lot of fans courtesy of his last performance against Zabit Magomed Sharipov. And tonight, Crash Bochniak will try to come up large on the road. All right, let's get to the rules of the Octagon. 3 judges score the fight. The bout duration is 3 5-minute rounds. For championship fights and all UFC main events, we go 5 5-minute rounds. A 10-point must-scoring system is in effect. The round winner gets 10 points, his or her opponent 9 or fewer, and scoring is based on effective striking and grappling, followed by aggression, and then Octagon control in that order. Also, before we get started, we let you know the Ontario Office of the Athletics has not adopted the new unified rules of MMA. We will, though, have the limited use of instant replay. That is only to look at a fight-ending sequence. So once replay is invoked, that particular fight cannot be restarted. As always, all competing athletes have been made aware. All right, with that, raring and ready to go from Toronto. Great to have you with us tonight on pay-per-view. And nothing quite like a matchup of true knockout artists. Two guys who fit that bill. England's Jimmy Manuwa and Brazil's Thiago Santos will look to keep the judges out of it here tonight. With a knockout in 6 of his last 7 wins, it seems Thiago Marreta Santos has never been more dangerous on fight night. But in Jimmy Manuwa, he will be in there with an opponent who boasts an 88% knockout rate and the ability to end a fight with one swing of his fist.
His hands are nothing like mine. Mine's a one-shot, one-kill thing. So, you know, he's gonna feel that. Thiago Santos is gonna feel that on the night.
Não estou preocupado com o poder de nocaute do Jimmy. Ele que tem que estar preocupado com o meu poder de nocaute.
After a ferocious tear through the middleweight division, Brazil's Thiago Santos decided the time was right to take on the best 205-pound fighters in the world. And with a fight of the night finish of Eric Anders in September, it was clear the power game of Marreta is as potent as ever.
Quero passar por cima do Manuwa, nocautear ele e mostrar pro UFC que eu posso chegar a disputar o cinturão dos meio pesados.
Looking to end an injury-riddled 2018 campaign on a high note, Jimmy Manuwa's fan base has been in his corner throughout, and the Londoner expects to pay them back for their support tonight, with an effort that will remind them of his highlight reel knockouts of Ovince St. Preux and Corey Anderson.
I want this to be the performance of my career, and you know, I've made a lot of sacrifices for these 2 camps that I've done, and you know, it's going to end with a bang.
Well, you want to talk about a guy who has been an absolute workhorse for the UFC. Here is Thiago Santos, 17th UFC appearance here tonight, comes in with a lot of momentum, 2 in a row, 6 of his last 7. And Paul, I think most saliently, a knockout in 9 of his 11 UFC wins.
Listen, I've called a few of Santos's fights, and every time this guy brings the heat, whether it's with his hands, his head kicks, his leg kicks, he's a savage. And at 205, he's a healthy savage, and he's not cutting all that weight down to 185. He's got great skills everywhere. You see, he beat Anthony Smith at 185 pounds, and we see how Anthony Smith is absolutely killing it at 205 pounds. I would recommend, and I would like to see Santos stay up in this division. He's a huge guy.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that he ever made 185 pounds standing next to him. He's enormous. He's a do-or-die fighter. I mean, this is what I like about this guy. This guy throws bombs, he stays in the pocket, and he has absolutely thunderous knockout power. And we saw that in his last fight against the very dangerous Eric Anders. I mean, he's just a beast, and so is Jimmy Manuwa. This is really one of those do-or-die fights for both guys. Either one of them could get knocked out with any punch or kick they throw.
Absolutely. And this fight was to happen in September. Jimmy Manuwa pulled out with an injury, so in stepped Eric Anders. You see back-to-back wins for Santos. 100 significant strikes landed against Anders in that UFC light heavyweight debut. And not only tonight does he become the first fighter on this roster to make 5 UFC appearances in 2018, but he also made weight as a backup fighter for that Adesanya Tavares main event this summer. So he's just a guy who, when the UFC calls his number, he is ready. And I think a pretty good opportunity for him, given the landscape at 205, to make a major statement tonight.
I just think for health reasons, it's the way to go, because I can't imagine he wasn't cutting 20 or 30 pounds to make that 185-pound limit.
No doubt.
Because as we see him step in the octagon 20 pounds above at 205, he's cutting weight to make this.
All right, Thiago Santos, about a 2-1 favorite tonight against the division staple, Jimmy Manuwa. Well, with no shortage of pressure on his shoulders here tonight, Joe. 7th in the world, Jimmy Manuwa making his 11th UFC appearance. still retains those championship aspirations. To that end, tonight's one he's got to have.
Well, Jimmy Manuwa can knock out any man in the world. If he connects with him, that's just lights out. He's got tremendous power and very fluid with his technique. And we're talking about a guy who really didn't get into martial arts until he was 28 years old.
Right.
It's really kind of a crazy story when you look at how successful he's been as a professional mixed martial arts fighter. You know, a tremendous physical specimen and just so smooth and effortless with his technique, but absolute knockout power.
Yeah, I mean, I like the way Manuwa goes to the body. He's got a beautiful left hook, like a dig shot, that liver shot that he goes with, and that left hook up top, man. So he mixes that up beautifully. Great kickboxing, and he's one of those guys that when he came in, he had all this hype. He's got such good knockout power, but he's had some setbacks. He gets caught himself, and he's faced some of the best guys in the division. But tonight, the hype that Santos has behind him, if Manuwa can come in here tonight and get a big win, that's huge. Throws him right back in the mix, in my opinion.
This fighter description is brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. This is a knockout artist of the highest order. And you mentioned, Joe, not much of a martial arts background. Joe Silva wanted to sign him a long time ago. He was the best 205er in the UK for a while. Finally, at 32 years old, he felt he was ready for the big show, and at times has sort of been making up for lost time.
Yeah, I mean, it really is unheard of to think about someone starting martial arts at 28 and then at 38 being a UFC veteran with a 17-4 record.
Yeah.
It's really kind of crazy. But Jimmy Manuwa is that talented, and who knows how good he would have been if he started at 18.
He's got such an arrogance and a good way about him, you know, and he's got that British accent, just gives him that edge. Something about Manuwa. I saw him at the hotel the other day. We were down at the Underground Mall, and I just hear elbows, elbows. And he was looking at me, and he's like, I like your elbows, mate.
He's a fun dude.
Don't come near me, Jimmy. You scare me.
But a very, very friendly guy.
Yes, yes.
And both fighters believe without a shadow of a doubt that they are better than the other guy in all areas. We will get some answers here in short order. Thiago Santos, 1-0 at 205 pounds in the UFC, taking on Jimmy Manuwa. Here's your tail of the tape. Manuwa, 38 years old. Maheta Santos will be 35 next month. He is the taller man by 1 inch, but Manuwa will have a 3.5-inch reach advantage. All right, with that, to get us the official introductions, he is the veteran voice of the Octagon. He is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, for UFC 231, Holloway versus Ortega, presented by EA Sports UFC 3. Get up to 70% off for a limited time. Buy it today on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And now, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC light heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a striker holding a professional record, 19 wins, 6 losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 206 pounds. Fighting out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Thiago Maheta Santos. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a striker holding a professional record, 17 wins, 4 losses. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 205 pounds. Fighting out of London, England, presenting the number 7 ranked light heavyweight contender in the world, Jimmy Poster Boy Manuwa. When the action begins, our referee in charge, Todd Anderson.
Todd Anderson could have his work cut out for him here tonight. Chrissy Blair getting us started for round 1. Thank you, Chrissy. Strategically slotted in the pay-per-view opener.
Yeah, this is bombs away, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go for popcorn. Stay put.
Jimmy Manuwa in the red trunks. Thiago Santos is in black. And we are underway. Manuwa was a pro for 8 years before going the distance for the first time in 2015.
Hard kick. Oh, he clipped him. Quick.
Oh, 2 knockdowns early for Santos.
And a takedown. He's got to watch his neck here, Joe.
Knee to the body. Manoa trying to recover here. He got hit with some big shots and another one. Santos with some heavy left hands.
Santos wastes no time. God.
Touch the ear, there you go.
Jimmy Manoa holding that clinch, really trying to recover. Santos just jumped all over him in the beginning of the round.
That's a start to the pay-per-view, huh?
Let us see the extent to which Manoa has recovered, has an underhook here.
I didn't expect anything less, though, did you?
No, absolutely not.
Both these guys can... Oh, you heard him again. Oh, his legs are wobbly. Again, Manoa really holding on to that clinch.
Nemiroff, bold character since 1872.
Stay away from his eyes.
Manoa smart to get this clinch, just try to clear his head a little bit. Got hit with a lot of shots right away.
Yeah, he really wants to stay pressed here, try to recover, and then dictate when he separates and makes some space. And he's not a ground fighter. He doesn't want to bring this fight to the ground. He's just simply trying to recover here.
Just shows you Santos with that power.
Oh, devastated. I mean, you don't tattoo a hammer on your chest unless you're serious.
I think the shield on his left arm thing is fresh as well.
It limits your career options. Big right hand by Jimmy. Nice knee to the body by Manoa as well. Good elbow on the break. Nice jab. Solid jab by Manoa.
Santos working the body now. 2 minutes have gone by here, round one.
Oh, Santos might be in trouble.
Yeah.
Ooh, just over the top. Jeez, man, these guys are... Nice takedown there from Santos.
Manoa looking for that underhook on the same side as the half guard. Good job with that. Back up to his feet. Very nicely done.
Yes, that was good. He kept that underhook and used the fence well.
Perfect technique. Good knee to the body there by Manoa as well. Oh, another hard knee to the body by Santos.
These are two savages in there right now.
I wonder what the betting line of this going to the distance was. That's a sucker bet, folks.
Nice job there, Manoa. Controlled the wrist and then right over top with the right elbow. It didn't really affect him, didn't land cleanly, but beautiful technique. Nice uppercut.
Knee. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God.
Nice duck there by Manoa.
These are haymakers.
Santos lands to the body, back to the clinch we go.
It's like they agree. Okay, hold on. Let's take a break for a second here. We'll get back to it in a second.
Hard knee to the body there by Manoa. There's another one. Those are big right now. When they're recovering, those knees.
Yeah, you're trying to get your breath.
Santos speared him with that one.
Manoa's plus 400, Joe, for this fight to go the distance. Not a great bet.
Good knees to the thigh by Santos.
Yeah, he's just staying busy.
And Manoa staying composed as we come up on a minute to go here, round one.
Yeah, he's just taking a break, man. He's holding his clinch. When you exchange like that, you're getting hit and you're throwing with all that power. Nice elbow.
The left hand. Oh, my goodness.
It's madness in there right now, man.
Nice knee to the body by Manoa. Good defense there. Stop that. Nasty shot to the body.
I love that elbow.
Big left for Manoa. Santos is hurt.
Big trouble. Big trouble.
He's looking to spin again. Whoa!
Pereira kick from Santos.
That was crazy slow.
And that wasn't intelligent. That wasn't a good use of saving your energy there.
Oh, look at this. Jimmy Manoa was looking for a guillotine. Changed his mind.
Manoa told us he felt like Santos makes a lot of mistakes on the floor and he could potentially capitalize. Seconds now to go in a round one that has had it all.
I think Manoa's just going to ride this out. Oh, big shots.
Wow.
My goodness. Woo. Take your headphones off and listen to this place. Oh, my goodness.
Wow, this crowd is crazy.
Woo! Here we go, folks. Let's take a look here. Boom, this is right away. Santos hits him with a right and a left. And then Manoa comes back. I mean, these guys were just throwing bombs, and Santos with heavy leg kicks, heavy high kicks, rather. There's the takedown by Santos. Boom, there's that left hook. Manoa recovers, bam, elbow to the neck, left hand behind it, and that was where Santos was in deep trouble. What a round.
Give me the tie clinch, beautiful. Tie clinch, beautiful. Get him up.
Ringing the new year by watching UFC action live from New York. The UFC's first event of 2019 goes down from Barclays Center in Brooklyn Saturday, January 19th. TJ Dillashaw looking to become a two-weight world champion. He moves down to face the new king of the flies, Henry Cejudo. Tickets on sale this Friday at Ticketmaster.com. All right, round two here. Jimmy Manoa, Thiago Santos. Santos sticks that lead hand early.
This is just all power, folks.
Oh, nice kick up top. And that started with Manoa. Read that switch kick coming, just stepped off. Nice trip. Could you imagine?
Oh, left hook. Oh, knee. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, left hook again, Joe.
Manoa a little bit wobbled here.
God, they're just... Oh! That's it! That's it! Jimmy Manoa's out!
Goodness. Oh my goodness. What a fight.
Jesus. And Santos just nods as if to say, I knew it all along. Absolutely incredible fight as long as it lasted.
What a fight. What a fight. Just guns blazing from the first second of the fight. Woo! My goodness.
I think that man should stay at 205, Joe.
I think you're right.
Let's take a look back at his handiwork. This fight replay brought to you by Nemiroff, bold character since 1872.
Oh, well, here we go. You see both guys just absolutely swinging, but as he missed the right hand, Santos comes back with a beautiful uppercut and then a big left hook. Puts Manoa down face first. Look at this hook. Square right on the temple, right up next to the eyebrow, and Manoa goes down face first. Doesn't even really need to throw any extra ground and pound. There's the uppercut. That actually just missed. Some left hooks in the exchange here. Both guys just swinging for the fences. But it's Santos who ends up with this uppercut to a massive left hook and puts Manoa down in a fight that was insane.
And how about Conan Silveira and the rest of the American top team and Tata Fight Team brass in the corner of Thiago Santos. At middleweight, his 8 knockouts tied for #1 all-time in that division's history. And now, since moving up to 205 pounds, back-to-back knockouts, none bigger than the one he just got here tonight. The official decision is brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Get unlimited high-speed data all month long on the same network as T-Mobile. All right, we now send it inside the octagon to Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Todd Anderson has called a stop to this contest at 41 seconds of round number 2. Declaring the winner by knockout, Thiago Santos.
I'm here with the winner, Thiago Santos. What a fight. Jimmy Manoa. Respect to both of you. What a fight, gentlemen. What a fight. You came out bombs away from the first second of the fight. Was that the plan from the get-go?
Você chegou aqui soltando bomba, era essa a estratégia?
A estratégia é essa, cara. Eu cheguei agora eu pude mostrar que eu cheguei nos meus pesados e cheguei para ficar. Eu vou ser campeão do UFC.
Yeah, that was the strategy. I came out to show that I can hit hard and I came to stay.
What a sensational knockout. And Thiago, take a look at the big screen and some of the action. I mean, this was a chaotic, crazy fight, and I loved every second of it. Tell us what you were thinking here in the heat of these exchanges.
O que você estava pensando no calor dessa trocação?
Tava maravilhoso, tava gostoso. Eu já falei que eu gosto de fazer isso aqui em cima, é tocar porrada, tocar soco. é fazer meus adversários sentir dor até eles não aguentarem mais.
It was fun. It was marvelous. I want to make my opponents feel pain until they can't bear it anymore.
Well, it was a fantastic performance and such a good move for you to move up to 205 pounds. It's so obvious you're healthy here and you maintain your knockout power.
Foi uma excelente movida lá para 205. Mostrou que você tem poder de nocaute nesse peso, mas está muito mais saudável.
É isso aí, foi bom demais. Eu queria mandar um abraço aqui pro Brasil, Rio de Janeiro, para a Cidade de Deus, para as crianças do meu projeto social, do Centro de Treinamento Thiago Marreta. Um abraço pro meu filho, que foi campeão no futebol hoje. Um abraço para Jaque. Jaque, tô com você. Perdeu seu pai. Te amo. Valeu, galera. Thank you, Canada!
I want to send a hug to Brazil, to Rio de Janeiro, to the city of God, to my son who was a soccer champion today, and to Jacques who lost his father. I love you.
Thank you, Thiago, for a fantastic fight. Thiago Santos, ladies and gentlemen.
That post-fight interview was brought to you by EA Sports UFC 3, available now for up to 70% off. Buy it today on Xbox One and receive a copy of Fight Night Champion to play through Xbox One backwards compatibility, available for a limited time. Paul Felder, I wouldn't mind seeing some highlights of that one again. How about
Let's see it again. Madness. These guys were swinging. Props to both these guys, and congratulations to Santos. He landed a clean left hook, put Manawa down, but let's give it up for Manawa, too. This guy came out. These guys were warriors tonight. That's what this sport's all about, in my opinion. They went in there looking for the finish, looking to put on a show. I respect both of these guys for what they did tonight.
They threw caution to the wind and they threw bombs at your moms. That was one of the craziest two-round fights you're ever going to see in the light heavyweight division, folks, and I loved it.
And the 10th UFC knockout for one Thiago Marreta Santos. Tonight's Locker Room Shots are brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. And it amounts to another big spot tonight for the Calgary native Hakeem Dawodu. He earned the nickname Mean Hakeem with his aggressive style on the Muay Thai circuit tonight. He will face New Englander Kyle Bochniak. A fight of the night for him against Zabit Magomed Sharipov served to put him on the map. He says he is in the zone as he looks to spring the upset over Dawodu here in Toronto tonight. UFC 231, Holloway versus Ortega, is brought to you by EA Sports UFC 3. Available now for up to 70% off. Buy it today on Xbox One and receive a copy of Fight Night Champion to play through Xbox One backwards compatibility. Available for a limited time. By Metro by T-Mobile. Get unlimited high-speed data all month long on the same network as T-Mobile. And by P3, the official protein snack of UFC.
Boxing is a very limited form of fighting. What Ultimate Fighting is, it's the actual sport of fighting.
Both of these guys has a chance to silence all the doubters, all the haters. Look at this sprawl, beautiful sprawl. Oh, good combination.
Oh! Severn goes to his back. Frost not doing a bad job defensively, though. Oh!
The hype behind this contest is insane. I cannot wait to see it.
Alongside Joe Rogan and Paul Felder, I'm John Anik. We're in Toronto, Ontario, Canada tonight for UFC 231, Holloway versus Ortega, as we continue to work our way towards what should be an epic championship doubleheader. All right, as we get ready for the featherweights next, a quick look at the live betting odds for this one. Hakeem Dawodu, the -170 favorite. Kyle Bochniak coming back as a +140 underdog. All right, right back to it now in what is one of the UFC's deepest divisions, 145 pounds. He's fought nearly half his pro career in the UFC. Kyle Bochniak has proven more than his toughness, but tonight he vows to take his game to a new level when he faces Canadian striker Hakeem Dawodu. It is a can't-miss stylistic matchup in the featherweight division as dynamic striker Hakeem Dawodu defends his Canadian turf against the ever-aggressive Bostonian Kyle Bochniak.
Kyle Bochniak is the perfect matchup for me because he's gritty, he likes to stand there and bang, he's going to be there to feel my power, and I'm going to get that big finish.
We all know I have the gritty and aggressiveness. You know, I also have skills as well, so I'm going to mix everything up. You can see a lot of facets of my game, and I'm just excited to go in there and push the pace.
with high expectations on his shoulders. Calgary's Hakeem Dawodu bounced back from a setback in his UFC debut to smash his way into the win column in July with a W at home over Austin Arnett. Now Mean Hakeem wants to keep that momentum going when he faces Kyle Bochniak.
Since you guys last seen me in July, I've improved in all of my areas. My speed, my power, my striking, my timing, my ground game. I'm always constantly getting better and working on everything.
After an unforgettable crowd pleaser with Zabit Magomedsharipov that easily earned Fight of the Night honors, perennial tough out Kyle Bochniak will make his second start in Canada as he looks to secure his third UFC win against Dawodu. He believes tonight could be the springboard he needs en route to more big fights in 2019 and beyond.
I expect to be nothing but fireworks. He's coming in for the kill. He's got a lot of hype behind him. He wants to prove himself. I'm battle tested. This is my 6th showing in the UFC. So tonight, I expect nothing but fireworks, man.
Born in Gloucester, Massachusetts, here is Kyle "Crash" Bochniak's 6th UFC appearance, 3rd start of 2018. And of course, so much was made of his performance in defeat against Zabit Magomedsharipov, and rightfully so, but he feels like people lose sight of his skills because they focus so much on that grit and that toughness, and he's got a point to prove tonight.
Well, that's just because it's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Kyle Bochniak can fight. There's no question about it. If you go the distance with a guy like Zabit,
right,
you got skills. And by the way, he was winning the last part of the 3rd round when that fight ended. He lost the decision, but he was coming on strong at the end of that fight. This kid's a savage, straight up. I mean, he comes to go to war, and his grittiness and his toughness, I mean, they're just as much a part of him as his skill set, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's got a confidence about him this week, too, man. He's going in there to shut up this crowd, I can tell you that right now. And physically, he looks great right now. He's shredded up. He's tough. He goes in there. He throws combinations. He's got good boxing skills. He's shown a well-roundedness. To be able to stay in there and survive with a guy like Zabit, who is just a killer absolutely everywhere. And like you said, Joe, to be ending on top and putting his hands down and laughing at a guy like Zabit, who's been just slaughtering guys in that division. I'm excited to see him get back in here. He's just got to stop trading wins and losses. This is time to get back on a streak.
I agree, and I think he learned a lot from that fight about where he stands in this division. And towards the end of that fight, when he was winning the 3rd round, at the end of the 3rd round, I think he left that fight. He might have lost, but he gained a tremendous amount of confidence and a tremendous amount of momentum. And this is Kyle Bochniak having grown from that as we see him stepping here against Hakeem Dawodu.
Well, the UFC's Nigerian takeover continues. Will it continue tonight? Hakeem Dawodu, 27 years old, 3rd UFC appearance for him, and what a backstory. A lot of adversity as a kid. His mom gave birth to him when she was 14 years old, was in and out of juvie and house arrest, but a tremendous sort of rally above that adversity, and in terms of the fighting skills, this is one special striker.
Yeah, this kid, we talked about it, John, man, he's been through a lot. He's had a lot of ups and downs in his career, and just personally talking about his parents and what he's gone through, and that's just giving him that grit. He's definitely got a chip on his shoulder when you talk to this kid. But let's talk about his stand-up skills and his kickboxing background. This guy has got it all when it comes to the kickboxing, staying on his feet. And he's got the perfect dance partner here, Kyle Bochniak, who's going to be willing to trade and go punch for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this is, you wanted a dream matchup for both of these two gentlemen, and this is perfect. A gritty guy like Bochniak and a really tough, aggressive, and incredibly skilled guy like Hakeem Dawodu. I mean, just a long list of Muay Thai championships that this man has won.
Right.
And I really can't wait to see how this plays out.
And this was a fight that was moved to pay-per-view. A lot of people speculating that this is a fighter the UFC sees as somebody who could potentially be a face of Canadian MMA. He's got a lot to prove here tonight. And as we mentioned, he is favored to get the job done against the always game Kyle "Crash" Bochniak. All right, the featherweights have entered the octagon. Let us get you the tail of the tape for this one. 3 rounds if needed in the UFC's 145-pound weight class. The Canadian Hakeem Dawodu, 27. Kyle Bochniak is 31. Dawodu, the taller man by 1 inch. More pronounced in reach, where Dawodu will have a 3.5-inch advantage. All right, now for the particulars, we go back inside the octagon where we find Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a pit fighter holding a professional record, 8 wins, 3 losses. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in at 145 pounds. Fighting out of Boston, Massachusetts, USA, Kyle Bochniak. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding professional record, 8 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 146 pounds. Fighting out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada, Mean Hakeem Dawodu. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Yves Levine.
Yves Levine, our referee for this one. Ariane Celeste is in the building. Thank you, AC.
Black line. Thank you.
Hakeem
Step
Dawodu.
back, thank you.
And
ready?
Kyle Bochniak.
Ready? Fight!
And we are underway. No touch of the gloves. Bochniak is in blue. Hakeem Dawodu is in gray.
Hakeem Dawodu has such a nasty Dutch combination, that left hook to the body, right leg kick. I mean, just really beautiful Muay Thai skills. Kyle Bochniak has skills of his own and is just incredibly gritty brawler.
He said Dawodu is the most athletic guy he's fought, but also the most predictable. We'll see if that assessment bears fruit for Bochniak tonight.
Well, I think it's one of those things, it's easy to say a guy's predictable until you're in there with him, facing the speed and the power. You can say, okay, he throws that Dutch combo, okay, right, left hook to the body, leg kick, but that doesn't mean you can stop it.
Yeah.
Bochniak spoke a lot about the 1 hour and 15 minutes of accrued octagon time for him. Feels like he's UFC tested, he's found his style, and ready to prove as much here tonight.
A lot of feints from Bochniak, respecting Dawodu's skills.
Good cardio for Bochniak, a lot of volume in the pass, right hand heavy attack.
Dawodu is being patient, not rushing things. And when he goes, he is fast. Straight jab and no tell on it. Straight down the pipe.
That's twice Bochniak's landed that leg kick, and that could be a big deal. Ooh, good
nice
right hand by Bochniak.
Yeah.
And immediately backed his head up out of that pocket to avoid that return fire from Dawodu.
Bochniak switching his stance up quite a bit as well.
Bochniak coached by John Clark and of course Peter Welch.
Kyle's got to stop playing with his shorts. You see that? He keeps picking up his lead leg, but with a guy like Dawodu, you don't want to be putting your hands down to play with your shorts with the speed on this guy's punches.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he's doing that. It doesn't look like they're tight or anything.
I think it's a tick, you know, Joe, like you get used to that in sparring and then it carries over into the fight. Ooh, there it is, Joe. That's that body shot to that leg kick.
Good kick to the body by Dawodu. Caught him coming in.
And over the top, that got Bochniak's attention, immediately swelled up.
Yeah, that eye started puffing up right away.
About 3 minutes gone by here in round 1. Dawodu off to a pretty good start.
He's going low with that kick. He's going to the calf.
Yeah, he's landed it up high as well, but he's landed it surprisingly effectively.
Nice counters. Seemingly unfazed. Dawodu stays patient. Oh.
Okay, you sure?
Oh, all right.
Pretty good sportsmanship there by Dawodu to stop.
Paul, they still let you wear metal cups?
Yeah.
Interesting. That seems like a bad idea.
To let them wear metal cups?
Yeah.
Break someone's foot.
Then again, you shouldn't be hitting there in the first place.
True. It's like, how'd that feel? Huh?
The real, nice takedown. Good job by Bokniak, and he's got the back. My real problem would be with the grappling. It's such a fulcrum with an armbar.
That's when it's a problem. Or if you get somebody's back, you're digging it into their spine.
Or the mount.
Oh, nice little trip there from Bokniak. I think this is a smart move by Kyle. Engage him into grappling, slow those strikes down from Dawodu. Get him to grapple, get him to wrestle, wear him out a little bit. Even if you don't ultimately end up on top with any effective anything as far as offensive grappling, at least you're making Dawodu defend, wear those shoulders out.
Nice job by Dawodu to repeatedly get back to his feet. Final 15 seconds of the round.
And Bokniak's not giving him a stationary target. He's constantly moving.
Dawodu points those toes to the body there.
Yeah, he seems unfazed too. I mean,
5 minutes in the can.
All right, let's take a look at some of these replays here. Here's that beautiful right hand, and that's the one that started swelling Bokniak's eye up. But here we got Kyle gets this nice takedown. But let's take a listen in a second to this kick. Oh! Man, that was a loud leg kick.
That's a baseball bat on a watermelon, son.
After your last punch, be smart. Yes, sir. Ready? John? When he's circling to your right, the high kick is there. Okay, he's got his hand way down by his rounds, okay? And let's look for the finish when you put him down. Forward heavy pressure when his hands touch the mat. Standing exchanges, Kyle, you got to go body and then work upstairs. No more head kick, because he's timing that and you're going to get your leg drop.
Nemiroff, bold character since 1872. So pretty good, concise message there from John Clark to Kyle Bokniak after round one. A lot of stance switches out of Kyle over the first 5 minutes. Dawodu lands to the body. He's gone there pretty effectively tonight.
Yeah, both guys have, but I feel like Dawodu is definitely putting more steam on those leg kicks.
Certainly that one.
Yeah, that was... Had some good sound on it, that's for sure.
Dawodu doubling up on Bokniak in terms of these significant strikes landed through about 6 minutes.
Bokniak's got to do something to get Dawodu's respect. He's in this fight, meaning he's not getting run over, but he's also not imposing himself.
Yep.
And he's going to have to take chances to do that.
Yeah, Dawodu is just very comfortable standing there. Whatever Kyle's throwing at him, it's not getting him to back up. It's not getting him worried. He just follows him around. He's landing that jab at will.
Yeah, whatever Kyle has to do, if he has to clinch, that right here, grab the leg, attempt the takedown. That's it. There he goes. Boom. That's what I like. But look at that, Dawodu, incredible, beautiful job. Right back up to his feet. But more of that. Make him second guess those kicks.
Our scores don't even acknowledge that as a takedown secured because Dawodu got back up so quick.
Yeah, definitely not a takedown secured, but at the very least, it makes him work.
Right.
Makes him anticipate whether or not Kyle's going to try that again.
2 minutes have elapsed here in round 2. Dawodu absorbed a big shot there from Bochniak.
Yeah, he's taking these shots from Bochniak in stride. He's not letting them affect him. Nothing seems to have hurt him or phased him at all. Even the leg kick to the calf seems to be eating it no problem.
Big deep breath from Kyle Bochniak. A lot of movement, but not much doing in terms of the strikes landed.
Ooh, keep an eye on Kyle Bochniak's right hand. The way he threw it and landed on Dawodu's head, it looked to me like he hurt it. And I haven't seen him throw it since. He's kind of half throwing it, and it looked like he opened his hand up after he threw it, which oftentimes a guy will do when he breaks his hand.
Yeah, try to shake it out and move it around a little bit.
Yeah, he just reacted in a strange way, and now he's going southpaw. See how that right hand is consistently open?
Yeah.
He's not throwing it.
And now I'm watching, trying to see if he even makes a fist, Joe.
He threw an elbow, too, when they were try to throw it there.
Yeah, but as we've seen, that doesn't necessarily mean it's not damaged.
There was the sound that it made, and then it was the way he reacted afterwards.
Yeah, with these little gloves, sometimes you hit the thumb if you throw an overhand right. Even a straight right, you hit on the knuckles. You hit it, if you hit the forehead or the top of the head, man, you'll break your knuckles even through those gloves.
Left hook, yeah. For Bochniak. Coming up on a minute to go here, round 2.
He threw it there.
Dawodu not all that efficient thus far, landing on just 31% of his significant strike attempts, but he's been the far busier man on the feet. Good balance from Dawodu.
Kyle's tried several takedown attempts, but Dawodu is always able to fight it off or stand right back up.
There's a
he
right.
Threw that, yeah, he threw that one.
Ooh. Can't be reaching for that.
No. The speed of Dawodu is impressive.
Yeah, it's the crispness and effectiveness of his technique, too. It's not just the speed. It's like everything's it's flowing. There's no wind-up.
He doesn't force the power either.
Not a terrible entry from Bochniak, but once again, Dawodu able to stay upright. All right, 10 minutes down. We will follow Kyle Bochniak into the blue corner.
Switch sides with me, Scotty. Kyle, you're down 2 rounds, brother. Cap. Look, you're down 2 rounds. We got to time the takedown a little bit better, okay? You got to be more than just a right-hand happy guy. Fuck these kicks, okay? He's just got too much experience with the kicks. Use your hands up and down the ladder, up and down the ladder. The left hand in the feet will bring you to the right hand, okay? Don't stop if you hit him with the 3. Rope drill, come back down for the takedown. We got to have this, Kyle. We need to finish him. We need to finish him. This is it, brother. I got it. This is it. Everything you got, Kyle. This is it, Kyle.
UFC 231, Holloway versus Ortega is presented by EA Sports UFC 3. Available now for up to 70% off. Play is over 200 UFC favorites, including legendary Fight Night champion characters Andre Bishop and Isaac Frost. Get it today. All right, third and final here. Kyle Bochniak in blue, Hakeem Dawodu in white. We'll see if Kyle Bochniak can rally here after dropping the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, his corner adamant that he needs to finish. But if he's going to finish, I think the best bet for that is probably going to be on the ground. Nice knee to the body by Dawodu.
Yeah, we've seen that that's a problem for him. Even when he gets it there, he's not able to keep it. It's so easy.
4 times now, Paul. He's grabbed at that left short again. 5 now.
Yeah.
In this round alone.
Yeah, I think that is a tick.
You know what he should do? Even if he doesn't like it, he should switch to the compression or the shorter shorts if that's a tick that he's got. Reaching down, he's spending more time grabbing that short than he is throwing his jab.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense because he's not throwing a kick after he does it. He's just doing it. Oh, he caught that leg.
He's trying.
But I don't remember that in his previous fights.
Yeah, nor do I. Dawodu.
I wonder if it's the first time that he's chosen the long board shorts. I hate to be talking about that, but it's so apparent.
It's weird.
Knee lands for Hakeem Dawodu. Oh, nice job by Dawodu there to change his level and land to the body.
Yeah, meanwhile, Dawodu is just putting combos together and touching Bochniak at will. Oh, scooping left hook.
There's the
double
takedown.
leg.
There it is.
Now that one he's secured. This is a takedown.
Yeah, now he's moving into half guard here. Let's see what he can do here. Dawodu flat on his back.
All right, let us listen in to Kyle Bochniak's corner. John Clark, Peter Welch.
Good, body lock. Good, Kyle.
Keep those hips flat.
Yes.
He lost it.
No one stands, Kyle.
Yes.
Do it again, Kyle. Drive him again.
Pull that hip out.
Kyle, bring your right hand down, moose grip.
Dawodu fights and gets the underhook back.
We got 2
On the feet,
minutes.
2.5 minutes to go in the fight.
Let's go. Up and down the ladder, Kyle. Up and down the ladder. Yes, up and down the ladder.
They didn't credit Bochniak for that takedown, Paul, for the record, so.
That one just there?
Correct.
They did or did?
Did not. Hey, don't shoot the messenger.
Seemed like a takedown.
Yeah.
He was on top of him. Okay, it's an error in the metric.
All right. I was going to say, there's no way that was a takedown.
Yeah, I mean, he was holding him down there for quite a while.
Good defense from Dawodu. Avoided that double leg. And I think it's wearing out on Kyle Bochniak a little bit here, trying to force all this wrestling. There's such a level difference in the striking. He just mixes it up, goes to the body, uses his leg kicks. Seems very fresh here at the end of the third round as well. Oh,
nice front kick
jump
to the
front
gut.
kick to the body. Really dug the toes in with that one too. Now Bochniak's got to, I mean, it's so easy to say that he's got to go for it. He's got to push the pace, but he does if he wants to win.
Well, what we're seeing here is just a real executor, superior execution by Hakeem Dawodu. Just the smoothness of his technique, the effectiveness of his range. I mean, he's just so good on his feet, so proficient. Does everything well as far as his Muay Thai and his striking. And Kyle Bochniak just does not have the same technical skill to keep up with him. Like, look at this. Beautiful combinations.
Oh, and I think those front kicks to the body are starting to slow Bochniak down.
And Bochniak, again, we knew coming in, he's a gritty, tough guy, and we knew he was going to test Hakeem, and that's what we've seen from this. This is a good learning fight for Hakeem, and a good fight for people to get to know who he is. You know, people know who Kyle Bochniak is. They've seen the... Oh, look at that. They've seen the Zabit fight, and now you get to see how Hakeem handles that skill and that grittiness. Oh, that last one to the body got him.
A lot of late action there from Hakeem Dawodu. And he did not discriminate, worked the legs, the body up top.
Just an excellent exhibition of beautiful Muay Thai technique in MMA.
So Hakeem Dawodu trying to make it 2 straight, 4 wins in his last 5. Takedown defense certainly held up tonight. This fight replay is brought to you by Nemiroff, bold character since 1872.
Yeah, there was just a difference in the stand-up skills here from Dawodu. He would land leg kicks. He was going to the body. Nice short left hook there. There you go. You see 2 double hooks to the body. Straight jab. The jab was constantly busy in Bochniak's face. And that front kick to the body, he landed that several times in the third round. And at the very end, it really hurt Bochniak, but the bell sounds and the fight was over. But if that fight was continuing right there, that could have been the end of the fight with that front kick to the body. Great job from Hakeem Dawodu.
Dawodu landed Paul 34 times to the body in that fight, and with a number of his weapons too. I mean, he is truly an 8-point striker and put a lot of that to good use tonight against a very tough customer in the Bostonian Bochniak.
We don't see that all the time in MMA. It's hard in MMA to really attack the body because it's so dangerous to lower your hands to go there with these small gloves, but Dawodu did it great.
All right, the official decision is brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Get unlimited high-speed data all month long on the same network as T-Mobile. All right, with those scorecards, here now, the venerable Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. Benoit Roussel scores it 29-28, Bochniak. Eric Cohn scores it 30-27, Dawodu. And Jason Rogers scores the contest 30-27 for the winner by split decision, Mean Hakeem Dawodu.
I'm here with the winner, Hakeem Dawodu. I don't understand how it was a split decision either. It seemed pretty clear. This was an excellent fight for you to showcase your skills. We knew coming in, Kyle Bochniak is a tough, gritty guy who's gonna come at you, and you just put on a Muay Thai exhibition, in my opinion.
I'm tough, and I'm gritty, you know what I'm saying? But I also got skill, and I got experience. So, you know, if he was relying on his toughness, maybe that's why he got the result tonight.
You knew coming into this fight that this was gonna be an aggressive guy, though. Did it play out the way you expected?
You know, everybody's aggressive, but yet again, another guy that's supposed to be aggressive, when he stands in front of me, I end up pushing him back.
Now, this was a good fight against a good fighter, but you've obviously got some really special skills. What kind of challenge would you like to face next in the octagon?
Well, I'm gonna go back, talk to my management paradigm, and we'll make a decision from there and see who's the next best move for me. You know, I'm young, and I'm only getting better, and I got a lot of fight left in me.
Well, congratulations, sir. Look forward to seeing you again. Hakeem Dawodu, ladies and gentlemen.
A big effort out of Hakeem Dawodu here tonight, and for whatever reason, one of the 3 judges did not see that fight for him. Paul, any thoughts on that, my man?
Yeah, it's absolute trash. I mean, that fight, I love Kyle Bochniak and his style, but there is in no way, in no alternate universe was that a split decision.
All right, well, Hakeem Dawodu gets the win tonight. Guy who's done a lot of winning in the UFC. How about the number 2 ranked welterweight contender, Kamaru Usman, 9-0 in the UFC. And you can be sure he's gonna have a big fight next. And there is a live look inside the locker room of Alex Cowboy Oliveira. Another guy with a lot of momentum here tonight. These locker room shots brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. Cowboy Oliveira, 14th UFC appearance for him, and he has been another go-to guy for the UFC tonight, making his 3rd appearance in 2018, and he will do so against the returning Gunnar Nelson. 11th UFC appearance for him. His knee is fully recovered. Was forced to pull out of a matchup against Neil Magny earlier this year. And tonight, Gunnar Nelson, as a slight favorite, ends an extended layoff. Well, speaking of big fights next Saturday, lightweight rematch with major divisional ramifications. Kevin Lee versus Al Iaquinta 2. First meeting went to Raging Al, and that is one of myriad reasons why the Motown Phenom is a man on a mission.
I feel like I'm the new breed of fighter just because I'm showing the evolution of the game. The game is evolving so much. You have to be able to do it all in order to keep up. And that's what keeps me driving, that's what keeps me motivated, and that's what makes me look for bigger and bigger challenges.
Kevin Lee has everything you want to see in a young star. He's got the swagger, he talks trash, and he can fight.
My goals in the UFC right now are to get that title and then hold it for a long, long time. I feel like I could be that one. I could be the man to really push it to another level.
I feel like I'm at my prime right now. I'm 31 years old, the strongest I've ever been. I've had some tough wars. I've had some wins, some losses. I've fought for the UFC title on a day's notice. This is my opportunity to prove with the right preparation, there's no one in the UFC's roster at a lightweight that can stop me. I'm gonna make this look good.
I took my first UFC fight on 3 weeks' notice versus Al Iaquinta.
He came in cocky. He goes to Dana White, he goes, get your checkbook ready, I'm coming, like he was gonna come over and just run through everything. You might think that, but I'm the guy that ends all that talk immediately.
Oh, big left. Iaquinta looking to finish. He's got to get his composure back.
He timed one good takedown and he got it.
This could be bad. Oh no,
it's real bad.
Trying to finish the fight right here. Al Iaquinta will survive a very tough round 2.
After that round, he got up and he was kind of like crying in the corner. What do I do? He was panicking. I'll never forget that.
Big right hand from Al Iaquinta, and Kevin Lee's in trouble. Al's really starting to turn it on here.
You can go back, you can watch our fight, you see the kid that's in there, and then you look at me now, and you see somebody completely different. You look at Al, you kind of see the same Al. I'm gonna show that I'm better in every aspect of the sport. I'm gonna outshine the man everywhere it goes.
There's the tap! The Motown phenom!
He's coming in that same cocky Kevin Lee that came in the first fight, and just like the first fight, he's gonna get humbled again.
Iaquinta has just stopped this fight!
Once I embarrass him in front of millions and millions of people around the world, people will know that I'm ready for the next level, that championship fight.
He thinks he can beat me. I know I can beat him. Whoever wins this fight is right back up in the talks of getting that title shot, and no matter how it happens, I'm gonna get my hand raised.
Oh, that's going to be a good one. That's going to be a good one. Listen, I think Kevin Lee has improved in leaps and bounds from their first outing, but Al Iaquinta has as well. Al's a savage, and that guy's got legit, serious knockout power, and we saw how good he did with Khabib Nurmagomedov. Compare his performance against Conor McGregor's, and then realize that he took that fight on 1 day's notice. He was supposed to be fighting a 3-round fight, fought a 5-round fight against Khabib. Yeah, and they wouldn't let you take it. Sorry about that. Paul's still hurting from that. But look, what Al Iaquinta brings to the table is, first of all, he's crazy. Like, legit crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, could be, if you really got a doctor to talk to him for too long, you probably get locked up. He got real knockout power. He's a very good wrestler. He's tough as they come. And Kevin Lee has a chip on his shoulder and a lot to prove. And he believes that he has improved to the point where he is a world-class contender next up for a title, but he's got to get through Al Iaquinta.
Home game for Paul Felder next Saturday night, December 15th, as we usher out the UFC on Fox era. Kevin Lee and Al Iaquinta rematch in the main event, and Edson Barboza and Dan Hooker, another big lightweight fight in the co-main. All right, getting ready for the welterweights next here in front of a capacity crowd in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Alex Oliveira and Gunnar Nelson. Nelson a slight favorite at -150. Alex Cowboy Oliveira coming back as a +120 underdog. After a layoff due to injury, Iceland's Gunnar Nelson returns to the proving ground, a man on a mission. Tonight, he will try to cool off the Cowboy, Alex Oliveira, and kickstart a run to the top. In a weight class always drunk with compelling matchups, one of the most intriguing takes place tonight, as Alex Oliveira faces Gunnar Nelson in a bout that will likely propel the winner into the welterweight top 10.
The next fight is always the biggest one, so this fight means everything, and my goal is to just keep climbing and get to the top.
Nessa noite eu vou mostrar pra ele, pro Gunnar, que eu não sou escada, nem degrau, tá ligado? E vim fazer diferença, vou meter a porrada na cara dele, pode esperar isso, é certo.
Winner of 4 of his last 5, Brazil's Alex Oliveira has shown his best form yet in finishing each of those 4 wins. And with names like Carlos Condit, Ryan LaFleur, and Tim Means on that list, it is clear the Cowboy is on the fast track to the top.
A chave pra ganhar do Gunnar hoje, nessa noite, vou mostrar pra vocês pessoalmente. É essa.
Like his opponent, Iceland's Gunnar Nelson is also skilled in the art of the finish, having ended 6 of his 7 UFC wins by submission. And tonight, in his first bout since July 2017, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt is determined to add the name Oliveira to his resume.
this is the way I fight. I go in there and I try to finish the fight. I'm not trying to score points, and I win by points. I think a lot of times the fight's not over until it's over, you know.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is one stoic individual.
Yes, he is. The fan favorite, the Icelandic Gunnar "Gunny" Nelson, stayed at home for this entire training camp. He set up a great team there. Of course, John Kavanagh still in his corner here tonight. But much has been made of Gunny Nelson's physique leading up to this fight, and he said we weren't sort of making too much of it. He completely changed up his strength and conditioning routine, and that added muscle mass could pay dividends against a guy as long and as strong as Alex "Cowboy" Oliveira.
Well, he's a sensational grappler. You're talking about a guy who beat Jeff Monson in a submission grappling match. Jeff Monson is a gorilla. Right. I mean, a giant weight and size advantage. Just fantastic technique on the ground, and his striking game has really improved in leaps and bounds. And one of the things that's his strength is his ability to stay so calm no matter what happens. His facial expression never changes. You can shoot that guy up with Botox and you never even know it. I mean, he just is dead-faced all the time, but he stays calm in a firestorm, and I think he's going to need that tonight, because Alex "Cowboy" Oliveira is a wild man who throws bombs, and he's got a very good ground game himself.
Yeah, what I like about Gunnar is he's got that karate style, that in-and-out style. His hands stayed down a little low, which got him caught against Ponzinibbio, but he also had a lot of controversy in that last fight of his, where he did take several eye pokes, and a lot of his team brought it up in the fighter interviews that they're very disappointed that nobody never really went anywhere with that. Well, he didn't protest it, which I think was maybe part of the issue, not that the referee is always going to help you out. But he's calm as a cucumber in there.
Yeah, he lets everybody else protest for him, but those eye pokes were a significant factor in that fight, no question about it. I mean, if you look at the replays online, they're disgusting.
Nelson made his pro debut in 2007 at the age of 19. He has arrived at his 11th UFC appearance tonight in Toronto. Well, this is a man who absolutely loves his chosen path in life as a fighter. 14th UFC appearance for Alex "Cowboy" Oliveira, and he's got some momentum here tonight as he tries to turn back the challenge of Gunnar Nelson.
Could they be further polar opposites in terms of how they approach life? Look at him.
This guy's dancing, smiling. He was a bull rider, a rodeo guy, but let's talk about his fighting skills. He's got knockout power. He's exciting. He brings the fight every single time, but at a fault sometimes. He puts himself in bad positions, he overextends, he gets caught. Maybe he's in fight of the night a lot, but sometimes he's on the other end of the fight of the night as well. But to his credit, Oliveira loves what he does. He comes in there. He's a star, man. This guy's smiling and dancing everywhere he goes, and he can fight.
He can fight, and he's a legit wild man. And when you look at his record, I mean, you're talking about a guy who submitted Tim Means. He submitted Carlos Condit. I mean, the Yancy Medeiros fight was one for the record books, man. What a chaotic, wild, back-and-forth exchange. Knocked out Ryan LaFleur. I mean, the man can fight. He's a wild dude. He's fun to watch, and this is going to be a sensational matchup.
And not only did he knock out Ryan LaFleur, but that uppercut and the timing that he had on that was sensational and floored him with it. And in his last fight against Pedersole, put him out in 39 seconds. Yeah. Timed that side kick and just floored him with it, finished him off. Ever since he's moved up to welterweight, where obviously he belongs, if you look at this guy's frame, he's tall, he's long, and he's not very skinny. I mean, he packs on enough muscle where he was absolutely destroying himself. Yeah,
he can't even get the back feet on him. He's dancing and singing. Look at him. It looks like he's at a wedding. He looks like your drunk cousin at a wedding. Like he's having a great old time. He doesn't look like a guy about to enter into a cage fight. You gotta love it.
This fighter description brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. And even when he's found himself in some compromising situations on the ground, even against Carlos Condit, he was still able to rally to get the win. Gunnar Nelson clearly believes that Oliveira is expectant, that Nelson will try to take him down here tonight. So strategically, an interesting dilemma for Alex Oliveira, and a very interesting stylistic matchup here put together by the UFC.
I love this fight. I love it. Love it to death.
Alex Oliveira, Gunnar Nelson ready to go here in this feature bout at 170 pounds. Cowboy is 30, as is Gunnar Nelson. Both fighters with a number next to their name. Both fighters 5'11" tall. We'll see if Oliveira can maximize what is a 4.5-inch edge in reach. All right, now for the official introductions, we rifle it back inside of Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 16 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 170.5 pounds. Fighting out of Reykjavik, Iceland, Gunnar Nelson. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a Muay Thai kickboxer holding a professional record, 19 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw, 2 no contests. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighed in at 171 pounds. Fighting out of Tres Rios, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Alex Cowboy Oliveira. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Jaron Vallel.
Jaron Vallel, our referee for this one. The great Vanessa Hansen is here. Thank you, V. Alex Cowboy Oliveira. And Gunnar Nelson, round 1 is underway. Nelson, 6 of his 7 UFC wins have come by way of submission.
Ooh. And there's that karate style that you talked about, Paul, that long, wide base.
He'll lunge in, he'll try to close distance quick with it.
And he did that with that left hand. Oh, hard elbows to the back of the head.
Yeah, he's got to be careful with those elbows.
Gunnar Nelson working very, very hard for this takedown here, but good defense so far by Oliveira.
Yeah, he's got that loose, got to watch those elbows to the back of the head. Oliveira had surgery earlier this year for a broken nose and a deviated septum. Otherwise, he has maintained his active pace. Oh, that was it.
Fence grab. Yves Levine separating them.
I like that Jaron Vallel stepped in there, Joe.
I said Yves Levine, I meant Jaron Vallel.
Do you understand? Come in. You cannot grab the cage like this. Do you understand me? Okay, reset. Wait, lock.
Yeah,
oh, yeah, he was going down, Joe.
Yeah.
When I take my hands off, you're gonna go. Ready? Fight! Time.
So nice job by the referee. He gives Nelson the position. I think we will get to a time where a point will be docked for that, because all it takes is one fence grab to prevent a takedown.
I think when it's that blatant, they should start talking about maybe adding in a rule where if it's literally stopping the fight from going to the mat, how can you justify where you're going to actually start the fight again? I think in those cases, yes, it should be an immediate point deduction. If it's a fence grab, okay, you're trying to get up, but it doesn't really alter the position, then it's a restart and a warning.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, and I think the same could be said about eye pokes. Oh, he's crawling to the back. Oh, he's got the back. Oh, but he doesn't. Now he does.
Now he does. Yeah, that was a weird little...
Yeah. Almost lost the position there for a second, but now he's got the body triangle. He's on the side. Look how he's on the side there.
He's turning into it. He's got the wrist control, too. He's going to use that to keep turning into that body triangle.
Yeah, he's trying to end up on top, but Gunnar Nelson's incredibly experienced on the ground. He knows as long as he holds that body triangle, it's very, very difficult for Oliveira to go anywhere. And he also can take the arm. Look, he's slapping him with these punches here.
Oh, Joe, that's a bad spot. Body triangle and back control.
Body triangle, back control, and if he flattens him out. See, Oliveira had to roll back.
Yes.
It's an incredibly painful position to be belly down.
So much pressure on your back, your stomach.
Yeah.
You can't breathe.
Making these shots count.
Oh, he's got such long arms. His reach is ridiculous.
It looks like he's going to turn.
That's some strength.
And this is also gassing out Gunnar's legs, and he doesn't have the full triangle right now.
He's got to let that
he's
go.
got to let it go. Now he's in the full guard.
Great job from Cowboy Oliveira to avoid that. Oh, vicious ground and pound from him.
Nasty shot. Big elbow.
Big ground and pound shots here from Oliveira. Less than 2 minutes now to go in the round.
Gunnar can't relax there.
Oh, big shots from Cowboy.
Man, his ground and pound. He uses every bit of that frame and that range. He's able to control those legs and hit you from a distance that most guys aren't able to hit you from when they're on top of you like that. Gunnar's got his guard back right now. Here he goes again. He's going to push those legs. And the hammer fist from Oliveira.
That's a big right.
Everything is frightening.
And then Gunnar's head's a press up against the fence. He can't go backwards. He can't move away. He can't slide away from these strikes from Oliveira.
Knee on the belly. Less than a minute now to go in the
Going
round.
under, going to the leg. But it's so hard to commit to a leg lock.
He's get punched in the face.
He's getting hammered. He's got to defend himself while he's going for it.
And I don't know why he's even hesitating. He's in range to land on Gunnar right now. Here he goes. Oh, that's why. He felt that balance. 30 seconds.
He's got a straight ankle lock.
And look at the redness from those strikes on Gunnar's face.
He's looking for that heel hook, but he's got that other leg in play as well.
So a first round that had a little bit of everything is now in the books. Let's listen in to the corner of Gunnar Nelson.
Nice defense. Take care of yourself in that fight, sir. Same again, look,
Tudo que ele faz, ele vai para as costas.
Everything he does is going to try to go to the back. Okay, let me do the knee. Okay, you hear? Do you hear me? Now it's time. He's tired. He put you down. He worked. Let's not take risks. Let's go. Come on.
UFC 231, Holloway versus Ortega, is presented by EA Sports UFC 3, available now for up to 70% off. Play as over 200 UFC favorites, including legendary Fight Night champion characters Andre Bishop and Isaac Frost. Get it today. All right, second round here. Alex Cowboy Oliveira. There's that patented smile.
They poured water all over Cowboy's head, his body, and they only wiped down his chest.
Yeah, and then it started pouring right down as soon as they walked away.
Yeah, it's in his hair. Gunnar has a very sneaky left hook from this position. He leaps forward with it.
I think he's so concerned about just getting this fight back down to the mat, which didn't work out for him in that first round. He had great positions, but great job from Oliveira reversing that and ending with some really well-placed ground and pound.
Nemiroff, bold character since 1872. Somebody's bleeding.
Take a second, not to bring up a fight from the past, but let's talk about Donald Cerrone's jiu-jitsu skills in that he was able to go in there and triangle Alex Oliveira almost immediately.
Yeah, pretty crazy. It's one of the most underappreciated aspects of Donald's game.
It's a little shout out to Cowboy. Oh yeah, is it Gunnar that's
I think it is.
Split open? Got Oliveira going for his own takedown.
Well, I think he felt very confident on top.
On top with the ground and pound? Yeah, I think that would be a safe move on his part to get on top, land. He's so long with that reach. I'm telling you, he can just play with the legs of Gunnar a little bit and land shots without even having to commit to going into the guard at all.
Gunnar reverses it, looking for his takedown. He's got his hands locked under the butt, Joe. He almost grabbed the fence again there.
So a takedown here, 2 minutes into round two
that knee
for
right
Gunnar
through.
Nelson.
And I guarantee you, Gunnar is going to be much more patient now.
Yes, get the position, secure it.
And be very, very conscious of Cowboy's explosive movements and his desire to flip the switch.
Some serious damage on that nose of Gunnar Nelson.
Bad. But he's in a great position. But with an explosive guy like Oliveira, you got to wonder how long he just wants to sit in the mount. He's got to do something with it. Damage, look for a submission, maybe look to go to side control, because Oliveira is so long and he can just bump, and he's so explosive. And then before you know it, you're back in his guard. Or excuse me, he's in your guard.
Now Gunnar's bleeding on him too.
Oliveira controlling posture here.
He's saying, hey, you did this to me, here you go.
Good job.
This is your fault.
He's moving up high.
Yes, maybe looking for an arm.
Yeah, or perhaps a triangle, mounted triangle, which would be a dangerous, risky move.
Especially with all this blood, Joe. Slip out of submissions that normally would have been secured.
But one thing the blood does enhance is the ability to slide the arm under the neck.
Yes, and if he keeps doing this, he's almost giving up his back to get out of here.
Gunnar also has a nasty arm triangle as well. And look, he's trying to press down with that knee.
Ooh.
Not a lot of time to work here.
Nope. Winning the round, though.
Yes.
Easy to work, gentlemen. Work.
And Jaron Villel calling for the fighter to work. Hard to believe he'd take a mount position like that away.
No way. If he did that.
It's happened before.
I mean, I think Gunnar's... Ooh, he almost... He's definitely looking at that arm. He's looking to get him to post and try to pass an arm to the side and get that triangle.
Well, when he knows it's short time, he might just decide to go for it.
Ooh,
that's
good
a
elbow.
nice elbow.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's terrific.
Yeah, that one hurt Cowboy Oliveira. Oh, and open.
Oh, split him wide open. Oh, my goodness. He's bleeding everywhere, Joe. That's bad. Forced to give up the back. That's it. Gunnar Nelson has done it. He's back.
Wow. Sensational.
Gunnar Nelson bloodies and batters Cowboy Oliveira and gets the submission.
And
Get that man a
referee
towel.
immediately brought in a doctor. That's how bad that cut is. I mean, that is a canyon on his head. Beautiful, beautiful elbows from the top by Gunnar Nelson.
And that is an enormous win for Gunny. Dealt with some adversity, of course, in that first round. What a way to announce his return to this UFC welterweight division. 8th UFC win for Gunnar Nelson. This fight replay is brought to you by Nemiroff, bold character since 1872.
Let's take a look at it again here. Just strong, secure mount, and boom, look at that slashing elbow. And that's just a giant gash. Immediately opens up and just pouring blood. I mean, look at that. It's crazy. It's just spraying out of him as he gets the choke. That is insane.
That would have been over no matter what, Joe.
No matter what. Look at that. That is a horror movie. Woo!
So you want to be a fighter.
Yeah, talk to him, Paul. Look at that. Wow.
Go to
Fantastic.
school, kids.
And it
Go
seemed
to
like
school.
Jaron Villel was even stopping the action prior to the tap.
Here we
from
go.
Alex
And
Oliveira.
here, it starts with beautiful wrist control from Gunnar. He controls that right wrist, which is where he torques over and lands that big elbow. Beautiful job.
We're doing hand raise. Let's go.
They are still attending to Alex Cowboy Oliveira.
Don't let him even get his hand. Worry about that cut.
Right, I
you know what
agree
I mean?
with you,
Worry
man.
about his cut.
The official decision is brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Get unlimited high-speed data all month long on the same network as T-Mobile. We now toss it back in there to Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Jaron Villel has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 17 seconds of round number 2. Declaring the winner by submission due to a rear naked choke, Gunnar Nelson.
I'm here with the winner, Gunnar Nelson. First of all, Gunnar, congratulations on a hard-fought victory. A really tough guy in Cowboy Oliveira. Did this fight play out the way you expected?
No, definitely not. Well, it ended the way I expected, but the fight was a bit of a scrap, and well, I do believe he hit me in the beginning to the back of the head. I had to see that again, but that felt like a hit right at the back of the head.
It was behind the ear.
Okay, yeah, like I said, I had to see that again, but yeah, he caught me with a good shot. Got me a little bit disorientated for a while. I was surviving there, but I was able to get on top eventually and finish the job.
Were you surprised in the first round when he was able to reverse your back mount?
Yeah, I have to say, I do that a lot, and I usually am able to keep guys even though they reach back like that, but I'll be more safe next time, you know? So I didn't think, even though he got that far, that he was gonna be able to turn all the way around. But fair play to him, he's a scrappy son of a bitch.
Certainly is. And let's take a look at the finish, Gunnar. You got him to the mat in the second round, secured the mount position, and you started raining some horrific elbows here. And this one that just slashed him wide open. As soon as you saw the blood, that's when you moved in for the finish.
Yeah, I knew he'd be covering up pretty well after that shot, and I thought I might slice him for the neck. The blood makes things slippery as well.
It certainly does. Listen, it's a hard-fought victory. Congratulations on an outstanding performance. Gunnar Nelson, ladies and gentlemen.
And there is no overstating, Paul, how big that win is for Gunnar Nelson tonight. That post-fight interview was brought to you by EA Sports UFC 3, available now for up to 70% off. Buy it today on Xbox One and receive a copy of Fight Night Champion to play through Xbox One. Backwards compatibility available for a limited time. All right, coming up next, we are here already. Certainly feels like a women's super fight. Valentina Shevchenko may be the best fighter on the roster who has yet to realize a UFC title. That is precisely the opportunity in front of Bullet here tonight. She will try to complete that part of her quest against the former UFC strawweight champion, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. She's looking to carve out some rarefied air of her own as the first woman to win UFC titles in multiple divisions. The co-main event is on deck.
Boom on the money.
Oh my God!
There's the tap! Oh! Incredible finish. Unbelievable.
It's easy for a fighter to win if they're always dominating fights.
It is all over! It is all over! Wow! Jon Jones remains the UFC light heavyweight champion!
One of the greatest fighters that has ever competed. When you really find out what makes a fighter, when you really find out about their character, their heart, their indomitable spirit, you find that out when they're tested by another great fighter. That is what we saw in the first fight. Alexander Gustafsson versus Jon Jones 2 is a rematch of one of the very best fights in the history of the UFC light heavyweight division, and the closest fight that Jon Jones has ever been in his entire career.
Here we go!
Oh, big combination by Gustafsson. And a right hand.
Teeing off.
Gustafsson was the first guy to take him down.
Gustafsson with the takedown.
Incredible. He cut him badly. Look at the cut over the eye of Jon Jones. He hurt him with big shots. Nice uppercuts. Look at that left. Jon had to dig to the bottom of his championship medal to pull out the victory in the final round.
They are on their feet.
Head kick. Flying knee by Jones. Gustafsson's busted up now. There's that head kick again. Gustafsson's in trouble. And another one. Incredible. And an elbow. Jon Jones might have to take Gustafsson out to retain his title.
And they go the distance.
Big round for Jon was obviously the last round, but that might be the only round he's won.
And still.
I didn't train as hard as I should have. And it caught up to me. It definitely caught
Excuses, only excuses. That's all I hear.
If my excuse was that I didn't train hard enough, what's your excuse for losing?
That's where you're wrong. I didn't lose, John. We all know that. I didn't lose. We're going to have a greater fight than the first one. I can promise you that.
Well, how good was that? Next pay-per-view for us 3 weeks from tonight, UFC 232. It'll be the rematch. That first meeting between Jones and Gustafsson took place right here in Toronto. Champion Jones started strong. He was the more efficient striker throughout. You see the numbers there in terms of the significant strikes in round 2. But Gustafsson really started to have some moments in the middle of this fight. He was the more aggressive fighter, had more output throughout. Big round 4 for Alexander Gustafsson, and then in round 5, Jon Jones turned it up a notch and thereby retained his title. The scores 48-47 times 2, 49-46 from the lone dissenting judge. But Joe, all 3 of them in favor of Jon Jones in retention of his UFC light heavyweight title.
I think there's 3 things we can take out of this fight moving into the rematch. 1, Jon Jones probably did not prepare as he should have, probably underestimated Alexander Gustafsson. 2, Alexander Gustafsson is a better fighter now than he was then. When you see the Glover Teixeira fight, his footwork's better, his striking's better, his movement, everything. He's more determined, more disciplined. 3, I think Jon Jones is better as well.
Right.
And I think Jon Jones is going to be coming into this fight with incredible motivation. We're talking about a Jon Jones that needs his career back. He needs his life back. He had his title stripped away from him. He's had all the shame and all the personal exposure of all of his problems. This is a Jon Jones fighting for redemption and Alexander Gustafsson fighting for greatness. And I cannot wait to call this fight.
Yeah, and he's got a lot to prove, man, and he's had time to go and figure things out, come out with new tricks. Nothing but, and he looks like he's been training in this time off, and it's been a while. So, I mean, that is a fight I just cannot wait to see.
We're closing out the year in a big way as usual, and of course, not to be outdone, the biggest fight, at least according to a lot of people in UFC women's MMA history, the super fight between the featherweight champ, Chris Cyborg, and the bantamweight champion, Amanda Nunes, who will be moving up to try to become a simultaneous 2-division champion. How about the prelims for UFC 232? Bottom of your screen. UFC Hall of Famer BJ Penn returns against Ryan Hall, and our featured prelim at heavyweight, Andrei Arlovsky, still going strong. He'll take on Walt the Big Ticket Harris. It is December 29th. UFC 232 from Las Vegas, Nevada. All right, a lot of championship hardware to be handed out tonight. To that end, we are getting closer to the co-main event. A look now at the soon-to-be closing odds. Valentina Shevchenko has held in this range all week. She's the -350 favorite. Joanna Jędrzejczyk pronounced as a +270 underdog here tonight. Well, as some of you know, for 3 straight years, Valentina Shevchenko and Joanna Jędrzejczyk battled for Muay Thai supremacy. Now, a decade thereafter, these 2 world-class athletes meet again, this time under MMA rules and with championship stakes.
Valentina Shevchenko versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk for the UFC Women's Flyweight Championship. You're talking about 2 of the best strikers in women's mixed martial arts, period.
I faced Valentina Shevchenko for 3 times back in the day when I was a Muay Thai fighter. I thought that I was going to win the world championship. So after I lost, she was my kind of like motivation to, you know, keep on training and proving that I can beat her one day.
Oh, man. Oh, God. Just constant punishment by Jędrzejczyk. Total domination.
Won the belt in her 3rd UFC fight by stopping Carla Esparza. Went on to the 5 consecutive times.
We are looking at maybe the greatest female fighter this sport has ever seen.
You know, it's been 10 years and we are going to meet in the octagon, you know, not on the ring. So it's going to be totally different.
I expect to give and live everything in the octagon. It will be great stand-up war.
Valentina Shevchenko, she's a multiple-time world Muay Thai champion, and she is absolutely dangerous. She's very physically strong for 125 pounds. She's got a full arsenal of striking technique and has an outstanding ground game as well.
And there's the tap, flyweight division. Say hello to your worst nightmare.
I will do everything to win the fight. This is my goal. My goal is title.
I have a chance to become the first UFC female fighter with 2 belts in different weight classes. I will be making history. Soon, baby.
Yes, she was a queen when she held the belt of strawweight, but this time she's coming in the wrong territory because this territory is mine. No one and nothing can stop me.
So here is the mixed martial arts superstar, Poland, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Her future is in the UFC Hall of Fame. Her present, this 9th UFC championship fight tonight, as she tries to become the first woman to realize a UFC title in 2 different divisions.
We're going to find out a lot tonight, very shortly. First of all, we're going to find out how much that weight cut down to 115 was taking out of Joanna. We don't know. You know, it was brutal for her. There's no doubt about it. But how much of a difference does it make? And how much difference is it going to be for her to move up to 125 pounds? Also, we're going to find out, what did she learn from the Namajunas fights? What did she learn from losing her title? What did she learn from losing the rematch? And how much does she have left in the tank? These are the questions that we need to have answered. Because when she's at her best, she is a sensational striker. She is relentless and ferocious. She's got fantastic Muay Thai. Her jab is amongst the best in the sport, period. And she is a finisher. When she gets you hurt, this woman will uncork a barrage of explosive strikes to take you out.
Tonight's Prep Point is brought to you by EA Sports. UFC 3 available now for up to 70% off. Play as over 200 UFC favorites, including legendary Fight Night champion characters Andre Bishop and Isaac Frost. Get it today.
Yeah, I'm so curious just because Valentina has won 3 times in a Muay Thai fight. And obviously when we watch Joanna, her skill sets rely on her striking, her jab, her kickboxing. But she's already lost 3 times to this woman in a kickboxing match. And I think, based on their fights, that Valentina is still the better wrestler and the stronger woman. So I'm curious to see how much, since they've met those 3 times, has Joanna improved? How much more she's going to be able to have? She already has such a high output. Now that she's not depleting herself down to 115 pounds, what's that output going to look like tonight?
Yeah, and what is her strategy coming into this fight? Because they know each other so well, having gone through those 3 Muay Thai fights. I mean, she's an American top team trained fighter, so you know they put together a fantastic game plan. The question is, can she execute it?
And this is the 3rd time Mike Brown and the rest of the American top team had prepared a fighter for Valentina Shevchenko. They had the benefit of preparing Amanda Nunes twice. Tonight, Joanna Jędrzejczyk moving up to 125 pounds. And looking to, in her mind, stamp herself as the greatest women's mixed martial arts athlete of all time. Well, you want to talk about a fighter with a lifetime in the game. Enter Kyrgyzstan's Valentina Shevchenko, the #1 UFC women's flyweight contender, as focused and as determined as any athlete on this roster as she tries to realize a UFC championship for the first time here in a matter of minutes.
That is a hard woman, ladies and gentlemen. UFC heavyweight champion Daniel Cormier said to me once, he looked at her and he looked at me and he goes, "She scares me." That's the heavyweight champ, folks. That's how badass Valentina Shevchenko is. And you're talking about a woman who beat Holly Holm at 135 pounds. Holly, who went on to challenge Chris Cyborg for the 145-pound title. Spectacular skill. She fights in a southpaw position. She has a nasty check right hook, full arsenal of kicking techniques, really strong in terms of the clinch and her ability to take fighters to the ground, and she can submit people. I mean, she is the full package.
Listen, anytime somebody can hit you with a step-in axe kick and take you down and submit you all in the same fight, that's impressive.
And you know, her win over Juliana Pena in a main event doesn't get the credit necessarily it deserves. Pena, for my money, is the meanest woman in MMA. She chewed her up and spit her out. Of course, you mentioned the Holly Holm win. Any number of different credentials you could shine the spotlight on for Shevchenko, but this is the prize that has eluded her for one reason or another. A lot of people thought she did enough to beat Amanda Nunes, did not get the nod that night. Tonight, I think there will be an outpouring of emotion if she's finally able to complete the job.
Well, it was certainly a close fight, and close enough that a lot of people did think she won. And you're talking about Amanda Nunes, who's one of the scariest strikers in any division. So this is a dangerous, dangerous woman. In terms of her firepower and her physical strength, I give her the advantage coming into this fight. In terms of her submission skills, I give her the advantage. But we're saying this based on who Joanna was at 115 when she was depleting herself. Who is she now? We're about to find out. Because at one point in time, she was the boogie woman, and everyone was scared of that lady.
Valentina Shevchenko with her initial MMA coach, Pavel Fedotov, and her sister, Antonina Shevchenko, in her corner tonight. All right, the UFC Women's Flyweight Championship is upon us. Here is your tale of the tape. Valentina Shevchenko, 30. Joanna Jędrzejczyk, 31. Jędrzejczyk, 1 inch taller. Both women making the championship limit with relative ease. Shevchenko will have a slight reach advantage of 1 inch. And now to get us started for this first of 2 championship fights, here is Bruce Butler.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the co-main event of the evening. Sponsored by AirAsia. Now everyone can fly. Our 3 judges scoring this contest at Octagon side are Benoit Roussel, Eric Cohen, and Jason Rogers. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, Todd Anderson. And now, this fight is 5 rounds for the undisputed UFC Flyweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a striker holding a professional record, 15 wins, 2 losses. She stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing in at 124 pounds. Fighting out of Olsztyn, Poland, presenting the #1 ranked strawweight contender in the world and the former UFC strawweight champion, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. And now introducing her opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a Muay Thai kickboxer holding a professional record, 15 wins, 3 losses. She stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighing in at 123 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan, presenting the #1 ranked flyweight contender in the world, Valentina Bullet Shevchenko.
Ladies, went over the rules in the back. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. If you wish to do gloves, touch now. Step back.
Skill for skill, about as much talent on the women's side as we have ever had inside that octagon at one time. The greatest strawweight champion in UFC history, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, moving up 10 pounds tonight to challenge perennial threat lifelong martial artist Valentina Shevchenko.
Ready?
And we are underway. Valentina Shevchenko in black takes the center of the octagon. Joanna Jędrzejczyk wearing that Polish red. Southpaw versus orthodox fighter here.
Valentina is a very unique mix of Muay Thai and traditional martial arts as well. You know, you see a lot of the way she throws her kicks. Sometimes she throws a Muay Thai style, but sometimes it looks like Kyokushin or Taekwondo.
Yeah, she's got a snap on it when she wants to, and she spins and throws axe kicks and hook kicks like a Taekwondo or karate practitioner.
And then again, she's got fantastic grappling and clinch work. Her takedowns are excellent.
She's just truly, she's a martial artist.
Yeah.
Whatever she needs to do in the sport of MMA, she's going to go out and seek it out and train her best for that particular art form. Beautiful takedown, Joe.
Right into side control. The strength of this woman.
And that's that in thinking about this fight, I feel like that is just where this fight was more guaranteed for Valentina, to get this fight to the ground. She's shown that she's got very good wrestling, and just when she gets on top, her control, she's relentless. Look at that squeeze. She's not letting Joanna move at all.
Well, she was this way at 135 with these bigger women. You see her down here now at 125 against a woman who fought at 115, and the strength difference is very evident. Also the grappling experience.
Right. 7 career MMA wins by submission for the 17-time World Muay Thai and K1 champion Valentina Shevchenko.
She's tying her up in a crucifix. Joanna rolls. She gives up her neck, though. Oh, big knee.
But she's up. And that's one thing Joanna, she does really well. She does find the ways to get back up to her feet. She pops back up. She avoided any major damage there, but Valentina's staying right on her. She's looking for that.
She's got the head, but she could lose her.
Yeah.
I was going to say, that's a tricky situation when you go for that headlock. You give up your back. But Joanna's not really a jiu-jitsu player. She just wants to get out of this.
She's trying to create space, push off.
But even if she does get out of this, she knows now that this girl's got a grip like a crocodile, slams her to the ground like that.
Yeah.
This is going to be in her mind as they exchange.
Oh, she's looking for that inside trip. Some good judo from Shevchenko.
Good everything.
Yeah, right.
And she's complete.
Pretty good job there by Jędrzejczyk to stay upright. Just over 2 minutes here to go round 1.
Valentina's got double underhooks here.
Got to wonder if part of the game plan for Shevchenko too is just wear her out. Joanna's got such a fast jab, straight punches down the middle, make her grapple in the first round. She knows she's got 5 rounds to work.
Or also, if there's anywhere that Valentina has a marked advantage, this is it. The strength, the clinch work, and the grappling. And most certainly the submissions. I mean, the way she submitted Juliana Pena from her back, I mean, nobody expected that, except maybe her camp.
Jędrzejczyk offers up a couple knees, but Shevchenko staying heavy here up against the fence. Referee calls for more action, just over a minute to go.
Big shot on the break.
A lot of energy expended in that clinch on both sides.
Joanna shake out her shoulders there, but she still looks pretty fresh. She hasn't really committed to any of these punches yet. She's throwing out a lot of feelers.
Even the way she's throwing her kick, she's not rotating her hips over. The lead right hand of Valentina is one of her best weapons, and that really was evident in the Holly Holm fight. She used that beautiful right check hook. Oh!
She is fast. She doesn't waste any movement, Joe. She gets just out of the way of some of these leg kicks from Joanna as well.
Final 10 seconds of the first round. Combination from Shevchenko. able to find the range as yet.
Let her go. Let her go.
And here we see Valentina gets the clinch. Look at that trip, beautiful, right into side control, and some nasty ground and pound from her from there. There's a nice elbow on the break. And there's that spinning back kick to the chest.
Come on, it'll be there. Measure, 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 long straight right.
When I push backward, they can push kick. The high kick is doing very good, champ. The high kick with the right leg.
Do not rest on the cage. Do not, underhook and circle off. Don't rest.
She has zero head movement. Okay?
Zero head movement. Long straight.
Listen, listen. Touch the glove. The second one, commit to.
Yes.
Jab, okay? Right hand forward.
UFC 231, Holloway versus Ortega is presented by EA Sports UFC 3. Available now for up to 70% off. Play as over 200 UFC favorites, including legendary Fight Night champion characters Andre Bishop and Isaac Frost. Get it today. So Mike Brown, Cattell Kubis, Dia Davis giving Joanna a lot of things to think about there, Paul, after round one.
Yeah. For Joanna, touch the gloves, then commit. They want her to just keep the feelers out there. They're saying that Valentina also has no head movement. But
she
does slides out of the way just well enough.
She's also got so much power. She might not have head movement, but she snaps back at you.
She'll counter right back at you.
It's so hard. And that front teep to the face was very nice.
Right.
But what Joanna has to do is she's got to get her respect. She's got to tag her with something.
She's got to commit, Joe. She's got to get in there.
But the problem is if she throws a kick, she's worried about it getting caught like it was at the end of the first round. She didn't throw that kick until the very end, the kick to the face, and Valentina immediately caught it. I mean, she's just coiled back like a spring, ready to blast.
Yeah. And she even seems to be able to match the speed of Jan Jacek at least through 6 minutes.
Maybe even faster.
Yeah.
And she's firing back.
Yeah, she doesn't give you any freebies.
And then there's the question of, does Joanna carry her power into this division? I mean, she wasn't a one-shot knockout artist at 115.
Right.
But she's also more of a technician than she is a brawler anyway. Ooh.
Last finish for Joanna actually came all the way back in June of 2015 against Jessica Pena.
And that was a barrage.
Yes.
I mean, that was a horrific beatdown that led to the stoppage.
Yeah, that was just nose and swelling and lumps and
everything.
Accumulation of strikes as opposed to, like we were talking about, that one shot.
Right after the main event, don't miss a recap of all of tonight's action from Toronto on the UFC 231 post-fight show on FS1. It also streams live on the Fox Sports app, and in Canada, you can find it on TSN.
Joanna pressing forward, though.
There's a good shot.
Body kick. Oh, straight left. Nice combination. You see Valentina, she's waiting to counter. That's where she works best.
And she has been at her efficient best here tonight, coming up on the midpoint of round two.
Nothing to it with that body. She just blocks it with her forearms like it's nothing. And both these girls with a respectable bark when they throw their strikes as well.
Jan Jacek lands to the body, but one and done. Significant strikes, pretty evenly matched, but Shevchenko far more efficient here through 7 minutes.
Oh, counter right hook. That's that right hook we're talking about, Joe.
Jan Jacek is switching back and forth as well, from southpaw to orthodox, really trying to find the correct formula. There's that head kick and gets taken down. And that's what she was worried about. And that's, I'm sure, Valentina wants to punish her every time she goes for that.
Platoon takedown from Shevchenko. And now we will see what she can do with it. About 90 seconds with which to work. Third time thus far that Shevchenko has grounded Joanna.
Slashing elbow there from the top from Valentina. Joanna's got that underhook, but Valentina's using it against her. She's got a trap. She's so strong. She's like, okay, you have that underhook, but now I have your arm, and I can land those elbows.
Well, Valentina definitely has a much broader arsenal when it comes to the ground game. Joanna's ground game is much more defense-oriented. Her goal is just to get back up to her feet.
And she can't get that arm back, so it's not helping her at all. Usually you dig for that underhook, you know, you press her up, try to get to a hip, get to a knee, and get up, but Shevchenko's like, no, you're not going anywhere. I've got that arm now.
Yeah, I mean, the physical strength and the grappling ability is so evident that it leans towards Shevchenko.
Pretty good work with the elbows. Positional control here for Shevchenko down the stretch of round 2.
You want to back up to her feet, nicely done. Oh, ate a hard knee. And back down.
Another strong round for Valentina Shevchenko.
Let's take a look at some of these replays. Here's that teep square to the mouth of Joanna. And a nice body kick there from Valentina. And here we go again. Off of the exchange, some nice punches traded back and forth, but this body lock to a takedown and keeps that side control for almost the rest of the round. And here, right at the end of the round, she lands that nice knee right on the jaw of Joanna Jędrzejczyk, and then ends up taking her down again.
Make sure she's not touching you. Be cautious. Don't make a mistake. She's playing her game, but you gotta make sure you play your game.
The unauthorized reproduction or distribution of this copyrighted work is illegal and punishable under law. And we talked earlier tonight about some of these mastermind coaches in the corners of these fighters. And how about Pavel Fedotov? This is a guy who was mixing the martial arts before it was the thing to do. And he has really turned these Shevchenko sisters into some absolute monsters in MMA.
And doubled up that front kick.
She does that so well, that teep, that front leg. And again, that's what you talked about earlier, that physical dexterity in the legs that she has from just that wide arsenal of striking techniques.
And that's the perfect blend, Joe. We were talking about traditional Taekwondo, and look at how easily she checks that kick to her. It's just a beautiful check. But she mixes those so well with the snap, but the way she stays balanced on her back leg, she's always just sliding that lead leg out of the way of those kicks. Oh, back kick.
What timing on that.
Right? Oh, she's so good. She mixes it up so well. The teep pulls out, and her defense is always so on point.
And she might have one of the best spinning back kicks in the game. There's just no
tell.
Yeah,
right.
Nothing. No telegraphing at all. And she doesn't move her feet. She does it from that position. She a little switch right there. You saw a little twitch.
Yeah, she thought about it. Oh, Joanna almost slipped a front kick up the middle.
And we see some damage on that nose of Jędrzejczyk.
Ducked in there, that right hand. Oh, hard leg kick.
Ooh. Spinning heel kick. And again, Joe, just like you talked about before, every time she throws that, she tries to make her pay. Joanna did a great job getting back up to her feet. Didn't really get a takedown off of it, but now she's thinking every time I throw that, she's been sweeping me, catching it, taking me down off of it.
And she's felt Shevchenko's strength in the ground. It's just, there's such a difference in their ability when it comes to grappling.
Valentina just so concentrated. There's never a mental lapse. Just picks her spots beautifully, landing 50% of her strikes. 9 takedown attempts already. Nice stick there by Joanna.
Yeah, she needs more of that. She needs to commit to that right hand. Easier said than done, of course, because you got to get in close. And the counter ability of Valentina is outstanding.
Well, that was a good indication right there. Joanna landed that front kick and slipped out of the way. Oh, there's the head kick There it is. Ooh, she makes it pay for it, that straight left.
Two minutes here to go, round 3.
Hard inside leg kick by Valentina.
And Joanna lands to the body.
Oh, Joanna, good job slipping out of the way of that left hand.
The Jacek corner likes the pace at which this round has been fought.
Oh, man. I mean, she is just like a little pit bull when she gets hold of that head. And Joanna's laughing.
Pretty good sign of the improved strength of Joanna Jacek. Did a lot of weight training, trying to add muscle for her move up to this division, however temporary.
Man, both ladies trading kicks back and forth. That's interesting, though. You know, you add on that muscle and you don't plan on necessarily staying in that weight class. It doesn't just disappear overnight. And that was already a challenging weight cut for her to get down to straw weight. So that's an interesting move to try to add on muscle. So I would hope that it's more than a one-fight move to flyweight.
I guess it's all dependent upon her performance in this fight. She's probably just so concentrating on Valentina.
Shevchenko gets the body lock. Unable to get Jacek down.
Whoa.
Oh, man. Shevchenko raises the knee and lands.
That's some flexibility right there, folks.
Again.
15 minutes down, we will follow Joanna Jacek into the blue corner. Red corner.
Ай, чтобы она накидывала. Ничего не давай накидывать.
She's low down, Jay. She's low down. She's low down. Sweet up.
We gotta come strong, Jay. We gotta come strong.
That's what you do with you. Keep waiting, sticking, do step back. Sticking, do step back. You can do that all day. Okay? But please pay attention. Don't throw the first one heavy. Throw the first one and go for second one. Second one can be cross. Second one
Your
can be...
feints are working for you. Every time you feint, you're scoring off of that. Yeah. All right? So let's stay busy with the feints.
Long
straight after.
Long straight right. Long straight right.
Seconds out.
We have arrived at the championship rounds of this UFC Women's Flyweight Championship. Paul, you keep hearing Mike Brown in that corner talk about that long straight right. They've been talking about it from the outset, but it's about committing to it, right? Not just throwing.
Yeah, and when she did it was a much better round, I feel like, Joanna. I mean, Valentina ended up in the clinch, almost taking her down there at the end. Had her back for a second, but she seems to be committing and more confident in her strikes and moving forward. See, even there, she stood there and tried to counter Valentina, whereas before she was just kind of touching with these punches. Now she's really trying to get in there and land them.
Yeah, she's picking up the pace for sure. I think she recognizes that she's probably behind in this fight, and she's really got to pick it up. Here she switches southpaws again.
Conditioning usually a weapon for Jacek down the stretch. Shevchenko very strong in that department as well. Even though Valentina doesn't have the championship experience of Jacek, most of her recent UFC fights have been 5-rounders.
Nice knee to the body there of Valentina, and here's that clinch again.
Oh, nice elbow over the top from Valentina. Yeah, but Joanna looking much better here in these later rounds of this fight.
Yeah, she looks like she's picking up the pace, and Valentina looks like she's slowing down a bit.
Yep, her pace has waned. She's also attempted 12 takedowns, which requires a lot of energy.
But so does defending them.
Yeah. Counter right lands for Shevchenko.
I think you know what it is. I think it's also discouraging, right? So it's not necessarily which one's more physically taxing. I think it's the person offensively trying to get the takedown and doesn't get it, that can drain you a little more just because it's also frustrating and diminishing. But she's got it now.
Right into side control. And nowhere near the cage. So Joanna's not going to be able to press her back up against the cage and wall walk.
Jacek tries to hip escape, unable to.
But at least she got her into half guard.
She's got that underhook again, but last time she did that.
She's giving up her back. She's giving up her back. She can't just do this. She can't just try to stand up like this. Wow, she's going to pull it off, though. Wow.
We're definitely seeing some, I mean, that strength and conditioning program, whatever Joanna's on, is working. She's showing that she's physically strong. She's hanging in here and getting up from these things. She could be taking the back,
Yeah,
Joe.
it looks like she's trying to take her back now.
She's got one hook over.
Yeah.
She's still in the headlock.
Yep.
She should just jump and throw that leg over.
Yeah. I mean, this is a bad position right now for Valentina. If she was there with an experienced grappler, she'd probably let this go and get out of this. But this is a good spot for Joanna if you can get her head out.
She's out.
Yeah, she's out. And Valentina recognized that.
Yeah,
she recognized it was a slippery spot. I mean, you go back to Liz Carmouche versus Ronda Rousey. Same situation. Ronda liked to take girls down with a headlock. She wound up getting her back taken. And she just, out of sheer toughness, gutted her way out of that rear naked choke.
Yeah, it's such a dangerous position to put yourself in if you don't land that. If you're not an expert at that throw.
Yeah. And even if you are. Depends on,
it could backfire on you for sure.
Yeah, depends on who you're doing it to. It's a very controversial move.
Double underhooks for Shevchenko. About a minute to go here in round 4.
Great job here defensively from Joanna.
But here's the situation we have to ask ourselves. How much did Valentina cut to get down to this weight class? And is it diminishing her at all? Well, and since Joanna's going up, I mean, she looks fresher right now. I mean, she looked fresher in the exchanges. I mean, we're just talking a slight bit, but enough that I'm noticing that she's coming on strong in the 4th, and Valentina seems to be fading a little bit. Now, look, Joanna got back up to her feet. She almost took her back.
Yeah, these later rounds, 4th round and the 3rd round for Joanna.
That exchange right there, like Valentina's punches and her kicks, just a little slower than before.
And I know some were surprised that Shevchenko came in a full pound and a half below the 125-pound championship limit.
Yeah, she might have overamped it.
And a lot of times that can be a scale issue too, whatever you're using for your cut.
Pretty good land there towards the end of the round from Jacek.
It feels like she was really coming on strong at the end of that round.
Don't let her do what she wants. Don't let her jump around. Don't forget your knee. Don't punch in the air. Punch her. This is the last round. Don't let her move around. And now she's gonna risk. She's gonna use elbows now. So make sure you watch out for the elbows.
You can do it. Best conditioning in the world. Put this bitch away.
There's a takedown by Shevchenko, and there's a nice knee right to the nose. She's fantastic at that high knee in the clinch, and this is the end of the fight. Joanna going after her.
These fighters have so much mutual respect for one another. 4th time they have met in a combat sports setting. For Valentina Shevchenko, now 5 minutes potentially away from finally becoming a UFC champion.
Joanna's corner pleading on her to test her. Look at that. Nice right hand. To really push her endurance. She said she's in excellent condition. Nice front kick to the body by Joanna.
Joanna clearly appears to be the fresher fighter here. You've heard Mike Brown often talk about Joanna having the muscles engaged the whole time because he feels like she can do it. She has the conditioning to go 25 hard minutes.
Well, you're seeing that. I mean, she's amped up her pace in the 3rd, 4th, and now 5th rounds and looks completely fresh. She doesn't look tired at all. But the strength of Shevchenko is the difference here. Even if she's getting back up, she's constantly on her, knocking her to the ground, getting control, but having trouble here in the 5th.
She's had a hard time taking Joanna down consistently.
Yeah, and she's slowing down. You can see that here in the 5th round. You gotta wonder, is it the cut or is it just Joanna's conditioning is that good?
It also could be her approach, that everything she does with full power.
So tense.
Yeah.
Shevchenko running a little bit of clock here in the clinch. 3.5 minutes to go. Now Todd Anderson calls for more action from Valentina.
Yeah, Valentina's just holding on here.
Yeah,
this
she's
is
definitely stalling.
Yeah, this is a fatigued fighter.
And Joanna's staying busy. Even if they're little teeny rabbit punches, she's still working. She's scoring
Referee's going to
points.
separate them.
Well, I agree with that.
Yeah, I do too. I do now. So I want to see it.
All right, back to the center. We'll see what Joanna can do with the separation. Lands a flush right there.
Ooh, slip?
Yeah, no, it's just feet tangled.
Both women have very nice front kicks to the body.
Ooh.
All right, let's check in on that ATT corner. Mike Brown and crew cornering you on Jacek.
Little closer, little closer.
Come on. Get ready, move your head in the cross. Move your head in the cross, you're gonna catch her. Cross, move your head, cross.
Oh, much less steam on that back kick now.
Yeah. Close the distance, 3-2.
Think too high, something big.
Less than 2 minutes now to decide the UFC Women's Flyweight Championship. Joanna continuing to try to force the issue here late. Beautiful stick by Shevchenko.
We could be in a situation here where Joanna has to land something big.
Yeah.
The takedowns, the control in the clinch, the power of her kicks and punches. She could be well behind in this fight right now.
Based on how it's going, it would have to be something crazy, Joe. It would have to be a big head kick or something like that, a spinning back fist.
And Shevchenko starting to let it go here a little bit late. Under a minute now to go.
Work out the fence, let's go.
We'll see if Joanna can circle out here.
Nice knee from Joanna.
Final 30 seconds of the fight.
Oh, there it is again. Woo. Oh, man.
Nice right hand.
And you want to just press it forward, though. Look at this.
She got touched by a spinning back fist there. Final 10 seconds now. So Valentina Shevchenko and Joanna Jędrzejczyk go the distance in this UFC Women's Flyweight Championship fight. Unofficially, both fighters landed exactly 92 significant strikes. Shevchenko a touch more efficient tonight. This replay brought to you by Nemiroff. Bold character since 1872.
And here we see Valentina with the clinch and the trip, lands in the side control. And there's a elbow on the break. And there's that spinning back kick to the chest. Front kick to the face. There's that check right hook. And here's another takedown. Again, every time she took her down, almost every single one of them went straight to side control. Another one, boom, same thing. There's that high knee. I mean, this is a Valentina highlight reel here. Spinning back fist.
All right, a summary of the fight here. Significant head strikes advantage Shevchenko. Jędrzejczyk did some fine work to the body. Leg kicks evenly matched. 5 takedowns unofficially on 16 attempts for Shevchenko. Only 3 minutes of top position time. Her physicality certainly was a big factor in this fight. But in a lot of respects, even if in a losing effort, Jędrzejczyk, I think, has a lot to be proud of in moving up tonight.
Oh, absolutely. She looked great. She just not as physically strong as Shevchenko, and I think those takedowns are ultimately what are going to be the decision maker here.
The official decision is brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Get unlimited high-speed data all month long on the same network as T-Mobile. With the scorecards, we go inside the octagon now to Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score the contest 49-46 for the winner by unanimous decision and new undisputed UFC flyweight champion of the world, Valentina "Bullet" Shevchenko.
I'm here with the winner and new champion, Valentina Shevchenko. You have waited so long to hear those words. Finally, you hear them. How does it feel to finally get the UFC strap?
You know, Joe, I was waiting for so long this moment. It's the magic words what I wanted to hear so long time ago. And I want to share this special moment with my sister, Antonina. I want her to stand right next to me because it's not only my work, it's work of all my team. My coach, Pavel Fedotov, my manager, Roger, one of the sparring partners, Robbie Chow, he's here. And I want to say thank you very much for everyone who was part of this amazing way to this belt. And of course, I want to say thank you very much to all my supporters around all the world. And of course, to Kyrgyzstan, to Russia, and to Peru.
You had so much success at 135 pounds, but this was really your natural weight class. What did it feel like to fight in this weight class finally and to go a full 5 rounds against someone as good as Joanna?
You know, I'm very happy that I get this belt in the fight with Joanna because she's really professional. And I was not like worried about what this fight will happen or not will happen because I knew she's very responsible. And this is more valor for me to get this belt from this kind of fight than with any other opponent.
Your technique looked absolutely sensational tonight. Everything was flawless. Congratulations and welcome to the championship list.
Quiero decir muchas gracias a todos mis fanáticos de toda Latinoamérica que me están apoyando y que me siguen. Los quiero mucho. И также хочу передать большой привет своему родному Кыргызстану, всей России и всем болельщикам из стран СНГ. Спасибо, что меня поддерживаете.
The new flyweight champion of the world, ladies and gentlemen, Valentina Shevchenko.
Well, when the UFC introduced the UFC Women's Flyweight division, many believed it was an eventuality that Valentina Shevchenko would become its champion. And now as we sit here, December 8th, 2018, the path to flyweight gold goes through Valentina Shevchenko. All right, up next, the wait ends for our main event. These locker room shots brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. Max Holloway has put together the greatest streak in UFC featherweight history. But the Blessed Express is not done yet. Holloway will try to bolster his legacy tonight by becoming the first man in MMA to defeat that man, Brian T-City Ortega. And do not mistake his kindness for weakness, folks. Ortega has finished his last 6 opponents. He is competent. He has the tools to bring the hardware back to the 3-1-0.
Take a look at UFC champion TJ Dillashaw live life to the fullest and watch this from Nemiroff Vodka. The man makes the man, Nemiroff makes the vodka since 1872.
What makes a man is what makes a fighter. It's your hunger, your drive, your appetite for experiencing every moment to the fullest. Being invincible, but never invisible. And the strength to brush yourself off, stand up, and kick the world square in the teeth.
Dillashaw has done it again!
The man makes the man. We make his vodka.
Well, Joe Rogan's going to be running the hills in California tomorrow. Tonight, though, he's in a winter wonderland in Toronto. Quite the festive atmosphere here in this fine city during the holiday season. And now live from Scotiabank Center in Toronto, it is time for the main event for UFC 231, Holloway versus Ortega, presented by EA Sports UFC 3. Available now for up to 70% off. Play as over 200 UFC favorites, including legendary Fight Night champion characters Andre Bishop and Isaac Frost. Get it today. Well, with a pair of wins over the iconic Jose Aldo, Max Holloway ushered the blessed era into the UFC tonight. Undefeated #1 contender Brian Ortega will try to make this great division his and put an end to the Hawaiians' historic run.
This is the most talked about fight in the featherweight division since Conor and Jose Aldo. I always said it. It's just a matter of time before we meet. Him and I are so good that we went through the division.
Oh! That is it! Brian T-City Ortega is still undefeated!
And there's nowhere to go no more.
Every single time I fight someone, it's like, this is the guy that's gonna stop Max. Guess what? That guy didn't stop it.
Holloway's pouring it on. He's melting, that's it.
That guy didn't stop me.
Oh!
That's
That'll
it.
do it!
That's
Max
it.
Holloway! The winning streak is a dozen.
And this guy sure hell ain't stopping me. I'm sitting in the bar. I dare you to beat me. I dare you.
This is the type of matchup you want to see when you have a young, phenomenal champion like Max Holloway. Want to see an undefeated phenom meet him for the championship of the world. Both men have real potential to be all-time greats.
I'm not a decision fighter. I'm not a point-based fighter.
Submission attempt once again. Oh, and there's the tap!
When I go in there, my objective is simple. Finish the man in front of me at all costs.
Oh, big knee, huge knee by Ortega. Hit it's all over!
I'm the guy who's undefeated, finished legends.
Oh! Knocked out for Ortega! T-City!
And now I'm here, knocking at the door, trying to get the title.
I'm gonna keep doing what I do best.
Oh!
Win fights, we're gonna grab my belt, and on to the next. I want to prove to everybody that I'm the best. I want to be the GOAT. I'm not even close to my peak, and I know it, you know? I'm not even close to being full potential. No one's gonna stop this.
I've sacrificed a lot, I've trained a lot, I've done everything that I possibly can to get here, and I'm not leaving without that belt.
Ortega, if you think your finishing streak is gonna continue, I got bad news for you. All good things come to an end. Welcome to the blessed era, baby.
time, baby. All right.
Here we go. Loose, Brian. Loose. Loose is dangerous. Loose is a good move.
Nah.
Brian's relaxed. There's nothing like it.
Wow, baby.
Loose is Brian. Here we go.
You're done like I always do.
Your time, Brian. This is it, bro.
Enjoy it. Here we go.
Good a representative as there could be for Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, a man who is dripping with class. He has vaulted to UFC superstardom, and 9 months after knocking out the legend Frankie Edgar, Brian T. City Ortega, Joe, 25 minutes or fewer away from realizing a UFC featherweight title.
It's very rare that a guy goes through a division like 145 pounds that's so talent-stacked and hits 14-0, including finishing a guy like Frankie Edgar. I think finishing Frankie Edgar was probably the most significant mark in his career because it showed that he could do it with striking. Because everybody was terrified about his ground game, especially after he submitted Cuff Swanson. But seeing him finish Frankie Edgar with punches makes you realize this guy has a real complete game. The time is now, and here we are with him challenging for the title at an undefeated 14-0, which is really incredible.
Tonight's Prep Point is brought to you by EA Sports UFC 3, available now for up to 70% off. Play as over 200 UFC favorites, including legendary Fight Night champion characters Andre Bishop and Isaac Frost. Get it today.
I'm also really curious. This is a huge moment. You look around this arena, it's absolutely packed. Everybody's going crazy. This is a lot of pressure. You're undefeated, and now here you are facing Max Holloway, who's on a 12-fight win streak, dominating this division for years. You're facing him now. It's the time. We're going to learn a lot about how Brian Ortega handles the biggest pressure. And I think he's capable of doing it, but it's a whole lot riding on this young man right now.
That's a very good point. Until you're in there under the big lights, you never know.
Henner Gracie has famously said, you teach Brian a technique one time, and not only does he apply it in combat, he applies it in combat at the highest level. James Lurson, his longtime boxing and striking coach, also in his corner tonight. Brian T. City Ortega trying to end Holloway's run here in a matter of moments. So here is the third undisputed featherweight champion in UFC history, Hawaii's finest, Max Blessed Holloway. And with respect to Jose Aldo, Conor McGregor, and anybody else you want to inject into the conversation, Holloway can already lay claim to being the greatest 145-pound fighter of all time.
I believe so. I believe so by his performances and just what he brings to the table. Just a full arsenal. I love his timing. I love his control and his pace. His cardio is off the charts. Also, his fight IQ. He knows what to do and when to do it, and he's one of the very best at hitting you and sliding just enough away from your counters and then diving back in. And he also has one of the most complete games in MMA. The last time this man lost was 5 years ago. He lost a decision to Conor McGregor, and since then, he's gone on a tear, a who's who of everybody in the 145-pound division except that man, Brian Ortega.
Yeah, and you know, just looking at this list, It's amazing the people that he's stopped. But one of the things he does well, Joe, too, is that he's able to game plan for each specific opponent. And that is down to even switching stances, coming out. He's so comfortable coming out either orthodox or southpaw, depending on who he's in there with. And I think he can fight from both those stances whenever he wants. And his footwork, his movement, he makes you miss. He can spin, he can throw head kicks. And you saw in his last couple fights with the former champion, Jose Aldo, his boxing and his power is second to none. He's humongous for this division at 145 pounds as well.
He really is. We're talking about a guy who they had to pull off the scale when he was trying to make 155 to fight Khabib Nurmagomedov. So this is a big fella, but he made the weight and he made it easy. 144.5, so he's good to go. Looks sensational. And here we go, baby.
Well, a lot of people felt like it was this fight and this opponent that kept Max Holloway around here at 145 pounds. He is a slight betting underdog against Brian T-City Ortega. Here's your tail to tape for this UFC Featherweight Championship. Both men born in 1991, 27 years of age. Max Holloway is the taller man by 3 inches, but both men with a reach of 69 inches. All right, now to get us started for the main event of the night, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening, presented by EA Sports UFC 3, sanctioned by the Ontario Athletic Commission. Our 3 judges scoring this contest in octagon side are David Therian, Sal D'Amato, and Jason Rogers. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon, Yves Lavigne. This bout is sponsored by EA Sports UFC 3. Get up to 70% off for a limited time. Buy it today on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And P3, the official protein snack of the UFC. And Nemirov, bold character since 1872. And now, for those in attendance and UFC fans watching around the world, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Live from the sold-out Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. It's time! 5 rounds for the undisputed UFC Featherweight Championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding an undefeated professional record. 14 wins, no losses, 1 no contest. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 145 pounds. Fighting out of Los Angeles, California, USA, presenting the #1 ranked featherweight contender in the world, the challenger, Brian T-City Ortega. And now introducing the champion, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 19 wins, 3 losses. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 144 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Waianae, Hawaii, USA, presenting the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC featherweight champion of the world, the pride of Hawaii, Max Holloway.
Mr. Holloway. Protect yourself at all time, obey my command at all time. If you want to touch it up, do it now, go back to your corner.
Oh, here we go. The weight ends here, folks. Max Holloway, 12 in a row. Brian Ortega, undefeated as an MMA pro. Something has got to give tonight. Will we get a new champion? Or will the path to featherweight glory still go through Hawaii? Max blessed Holloway. And Brian T-City Ortega. Ortega is in blue. Holloway is in the black and gold. Befitting a champion, we are underway. Huge discrepancies in terms of the striking rate of these men. Holloway, the busier guy, the more effective striker on the feet, offensively and defensively.
Footwork and movement is such a big part of his game. And as we said, he's one of the very best at moving just out of the range of his opponent's attack and then right back in. And you see it right there. Just slides away. Very difficult to hit clean. And he's got such a high fight IQ. Knows when to move in, knows what to do and when to do it.
Holloway made his UFC debut at 20 years old against Dustin Poirier. He hasn't been finished since. Hasn't lost a fight in more than 5 years. Ortega presses forward and lands.
Oh, he tagged him. Wow. He tagged him with a 1-2.
Ooh. Looking for that counter right over the top. But Ortega not afraid to mix it in here, in close, in boxing range, showing some good head movement. Ooh. We saw him land that uppercut against Frankie Edgar. Nice right hand there from Max.
Ooh. Another nice right hand. Good angle. I like how he cut that angle to land that punch. Good kick.
Ortega switching some stances too.
Holloway rips the body.
And that's something Max does very well. He makes sure he attacks the body. He mixes things up. He'll go to the head and body, throw multiple punches at a time, especially if he has you hurt.
He digs there again, the body.
Ortega constantly switching his stances. 2.5 minutes have gone by here, round one.
Good right hand. Oh,
nice counter from Ortega.
Both guys.
Ooh, going for that head kick.
Nice flurry there from Max Holloway. You can feel the tension in this arena.
Oh, nice elbow.
And that got an acknowledgement from Holloway.
Nice hook to a right hand there from Ortega. Oh, stunned him.
Clean right hand.
Seems to be okay, shaking his head.
Good entry by Ortega.
Oh.
Good double leg. Max fighting, he's trying to push on the head.
You got one leg free.
Nice job from Holloway.
Good sign for Holloway as he gets right back to his feet.
Nice right hand from Max.
Beautiful right hand. And
he doesn't overswing it either,
nope.
Joe. He just kind of snaps it out there, pops it right in your face.
He's a volume guy.
Oh! But Ortega's countering back as well.
He is.
He's not letting him get away with just landing these shots. He's coming back and landing his own. That elbow was beautiful as well.
We haven't seen Ortega touched up like this in a fight before, though. And it's going to be interesting to see how his cardio holds. He could be very tense here.
And he's starting to overswing a little bit.
Yes. He's throwing a lot of energy into these punches. Let's see if he starts to slow down, because Max will not. He will ramp up his pace, and if he senses any weakness at all, he'll start pouring it on. And he overwhelms you with his movement. In and out, in and out. You never know if he's coming or going.
Nice hook there from Holloway.
Oh, he's faking wobbling.
Oh, right hand.
Oh!
Nice knee. Very good knee. Head kick. Look at this.
Ortega enters on a single. Holloway using the fence to his advantage here. 10 seconds to go in the round.
Nice defense there from Holloway on these takedown attempts.
And made him work.
Strong start for the champion.
He used his weight on that. You see how as he hoisted him, he just kind of sat into it.
And he was very calm and very relaxed. There you see Holloway with a beautiful straight right. And here's a nasty elbow by Ortega. Look at this. Bonk. Very nice. Forearm more.
Yeah.
And there's Holloway pouring it on. And there's a nice counter right hand by Holloway and slides away from Ortega.
So get in there, get him against the cage, and the takedown doesn't have to be right away against the cage. It can just be lay on him, and then eventually connect those hands and we go down. It's beautiful. And remember, you don't have to take him down. We can tie that rope on the cage.
You're closer,
Okay.
man. Put your hands up, Brian, okay?
You're defending well. When you put your hands up, you're defending well, Brian.
UFC 231, Holloway versus Ortega is presented by EA Sports UFC 3, available now for up to 70% off. Play as over 200 UFC favorites, including legendary Fight Night champion characters Andre Bishop and Isaac Frost. Get it today. A lot of support for Max Holloway here in Toronto. Had a big win over Anthony Showtime Pettis in this building at UFC 206. And he's been calling it the 10th Island all week.
There's that jab.
Nice leg kick there from Holloway. You haven't seen too many kicks from him yet.
The thing that starts getting discouraging about Holloway is that he just doesn't get tired. And he can just keep doing this. He just stays on you, keeps moving forward, never fades. His cardio is one of his biggest strengths.
And that 1-2 that he just landed, followed by another one right away, is exactly what he knocked out, or at least dropped Jose Aldo with the first time they fought. He snaps it out and follows it right up with the same exact combo right when you think you're out of trouble.
Another right hand lands for Max Holloway. If you know the history on Brian Ortega, though, you know that he has rallied to win before.
Absolutely. Oh, nice clean hand.
He has, but it's safe to say that this is the best fighter Brian Ortega has ever fought.
You know what it is, too? It's not necessarily the speed or the strength of Max Holloway. It's his timing. That's so crucial for him. See right there? It's super fast.
Yeah.
He waits for you to make a mistake or you move out of the way and you think you're safe, and he lands that right hand.
He's also just a wizard at movement. His movement is so efficient.
Ortega with a desperation shot there. His nose is busted up.
He's getting hurt.
These bright lights show this big first title shot. It's a lot to take in, especially against a dominant guy like Max Holloway.
It's Max. It's Max. He's the best. He's the best featherweight of all time.
Oh!
Beautiful job from Holloway.
Oh, big right counter from Ortega.
Ortega is busted up. Mouth is wide open now because he can't breathe out of his nose.
Comes back with his own combo, though.
At least to this point, Holloway not in fear of the power coming back his way on the feet.
Oh, he just missed with that right hand. Glanced off the shoulder. T-City, though, trying. He's throwing punches. He's
got heart
in this fight.
There's no doubt. There
There's that right hand there.
There's no doubt about it. Brian Ortega has incredible heart.
Max got to be careful. He doesn't want to overcommit with that right hand. T-City looking for that right uppercut. Nice leg kick again from Holloway.
Oh, beautiful right hand.
That right hand has been a piston all night, man.
Timing in the movement is just sensational. It's beautiful to watch. Look at that.
Nice.
Oh, nice elbow. Beautiful elbow.
Nice combo from T-City still in. It's just, man, he's got to be having a lot of trouble breathing if that's all coming from his nose right now.
Big right hand for Holloway lands again.
Pouring it on. Look at that distance control by Holloway.
Max barely breathing heavy, 9 minutes in.
Oh, man. Clean right hands.
Oh,
he got
right hook
down
right
there.
hand.
Yeah, he did.
Ortega is still in this, folks.
I think he's getting a little confidence. He's landed a few good shots here. He's pressing forward, but Max, again, freak punch combo.
And now Max is recognizing that that counter right is there, so he's backing away before it lands.
Ortega told us I got that Mexican blood pouring through me. If I got to lean on the toughness and the heart, I can, but he is up against it here as we round down round 2.
Nice right hand there from Ortega.
Well, when it comes between toughness, Mexican or Hawaiian, I say that's a wash.
Yeah, that's a push.
Both these guys are going to take a shot.
People.
Ooh, nice stick back to Ortega.
All right, 10 minutes down. We will go into the corner of Brian Ortega as Max Holloway intimates this is my octagon. Some work to do in that T-City corner.
Brian, you gotta go now. You gotta lean back all the way back and relax.
We got 3 more rounds. We got 3 more rounds.
Okay,
Breathe.
You have wordplay. It's okay.
Deep breath, champ.
Now you gotta fucking press it. Okay? Let's go.
Shit, get your head off the line. Yes, sir. Guy's getting exhausted. He's swinging for the fences.
Yes,
Put on cook him. Cook him. When he's done, he's done. Don't rush it. Okay? You're doing everything. Don't slug. Get off center. Don't give this guy.
Let's take a look at some of this. Oh, just jab, jab, right hand, left hand, right hand. Max is relentless, and he gets out of the way beautifully of these punches. He's just that head kick. He slides just out of the way. Yeah, Max, he throws 3, 4, 5, 6 punch combos, switches stances as he does it, all the while pressing forward and pushing T-City backwards.
With head movement and his hands down, inviting you to try to counter and then countering your counters.
Third round of a possible 5 here.
But what we didn't see there was that T-City did have some success. He did land some of his own shots. Nowhere near as many as Max did.
But they were clean. He landed some good, clean shots. And look at him. He's still fresh. He's looking good.
And he doesn't seem to have really gotten hurt by any of Holloway's offerings, just busted up.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. That was a very good left kick to the body.
Ooh, that's right hand. T-City's, I'm telling you, he's gaining a little bit of confidence here in the third. Oh, as I say that, Holloway lands a nice right hand again. I don't know what happened there.
Max going to the body there well.
Oh! Combination from Ortega.
Oh, that was a big right hand by Ortega. He's wobbling a little bit.
Here comes Ortega.
And there's the takedown.
He's got it.
Ortega trying to transition to the back.
Oh, Max is up.
We got to fight, ladies and gentlemen. We got to fight.
Stiff jab there from Ortega. Oh, another right hand.
Right hand. Max is standing right in front of him now. He's not moving as well. And Ortega's really getting his timing down. Beautiful spinning elbow.
Ortega starting to send leg kicks.
He really sunk that leg kick in.
And that all set up with that big left hook. Smacked Max with it, knocked him off balance right into that leg kick.
The composure of Ortega paying dividends here, 2 minutes into round 3.
There it is again.
Another hard leg
really
kick.
whips it down, too. Max still keeping his volume up, though. When he throws, he's throwing 2, 3 at a time.
And the Ortega corner doesn't want him back up.
Big uppercut.
Man, these guys are trading.
But what I'm seeing is that when Ortega's landing, it's having an effect on Holloway that we're not used to seeing.
That's fair.
Nice left hook, right hand there from Max.
And as you said, John, although Ortega's getting busted up, it doesn't seem like he's getting hurt.
Got him tied up here. We've seen him get a couple takedowns, but Max immediately pops right back up to his feet, keeps that whizzer, underhook, whatever he's got to do to get back to his feet. But now we see, Ortega with double underhooks here. And his corner, Joe, is telling him, you don't have to go for the takedown right away. Lay on him, wear on him. Watch out for that right elbow of Ortega as Max controls that inside of his arm.
I think it's safe to say this is already the most difficult defense.
Oh, yeah.
Back to the center of the octagon.
Oh, nice combo from Holloway. Now he's pressing forward.
There's another elbow by Ortega. Nice
body
left
shot.
to the body.
Yep. That's one thing Max will consistently do well throughout the fight. Just mix up to the body and to the head.
Ortega's very creative. You see how he gets weird with those elbows? Just brings stuff out of nowhere. Oh, right hand by Ortega.
Man, these guys just punching straight in front of each other with combinations and great technique as well. Head kick there from Ortega.
Holloway able to partially get that guard up.
Yeah.
45 seconds in the round.
Nice right hand.
Oh, good right hand.
Holloway starting to regain a little traction here late.
Excellent exchange. But Ortega pressing forward. Ortega seems to have much more confidence in this round. There's a takedown attempt again.
Holloway fighting for the underhook.
Wow, what a fight, man. What a fight.
It's on.
Max Holloway's a showman, man. Pointing to his son.
Oh, God, his poor son.
Yeah, look at the look on his son's face.
You got to keep your movement. You got to feint. Don't get into a slugfest.
He's done.
We got this guy. Mix it up. Don't headhunt. Go back to the body. Go back to the leg. Okay? We have way more tools. Stay right outside that clinch range. Find your range. Let's go.
I need you to save just enough energy so he dumps at that 3-minute mark, 4-minute mark. I need you to start piecing him out more there. Stage. You're doing great. All we need is one pressure low, some knees. When he grabs your leg, we go up high. Get the double leg tied up behind his legs. On the way back up, you almost had him, Brian. You gotta believe. We learn from every touch. I'm proud of you, champ. You're looking great. Very good, Brian.
Seconds out.
Please tie it up. Couple more tie-ups now. We got 2 more rounds. You're doing perfect.
Well, it's already a classic, and we might have 10 minutes more as we arrive at the championship rounds. Ariane Celeste getting us there.
Yo, get out of here.
Round 4 of a possible 5.
I'm not sure what Max was telling me. It was pointing to the ground. He said he's going to end it.
Finish it now.
All right, so Holloway calling his shot.
Brian Ortega looks sensational now.
Oh!
He's so good at switching stances, Holloway.
Yep, he's comfortable. Oh, nice
straight
left.
Oh!
He's making Ortega miss badly in this round.
He's pouring it on. Look at him.
Holloway showboating now. Back to the well with the body shot.
Man. Joe, has he switched southpaw like this yet in this fight? He hasn't yet.
He has a little bit. Yeah, he's gone back and forth.
Oh, and there he goes. He switches back.
He's just really hard to predict.
He was doing really well from southpaw, and he's consistently going back to that in this round.
Oh! He hurt him there with that right hook.
Can you imagine if he finishes it in this round after he just said that to you, possibly?
It's what he did with Aldo. It's exactly what he did with Aldo. Oh! Ortega, though. Nasty right hook to the body.
Oh!
Ortega's oh my goodness. This is some championship level stuff.
Beautiful body work as well from Holloway.
Everything. Ortega looking for that takedown. Holloway pouring it on.
Oh! Ortega's hurt. Oh, he's hurt. He's trying to clinch.
Holloway trying to get enough separation to close the show.
Holloway digging to the body. The volume and the pressure that Holloway puts. Oh, Ortega with the right hand.
But Max goes goes nowhere. Oh. He does not stop throwing punches, Joe.
The volume is insane. His pressure and his cardio just off the charts.
And when he switches southpaw, it just switches everything for Ortega. Now Ortega's southpaw.
And he can do it southpaw. He throws a nasty straight left. I mean, he doesn't have a weak side.
Man, both guys are swinging. For every one that Ortega lands, Max is landing 3 or 4 punches at a time.
And it just makes you wilt with the pressure. Over 500 combined strikes right now.
And Holloway's landed nearly 200 at a 52% clip. Ortega retreats.
He's getting his head snapped back. He's looking for the takedown. There's a lot of energy Ortega's using here. If Holloway can defend.
Nice job by Holloway to post.
That was it. He tried to snap him down to get that guillotine, but Max all over it.
A lot of blood coming off of Brian Ortega's face.
Holloway just so efficient. Just touching him, not putting everything into every shot.
Framing off with that right elbow, looking to get some space.
Holloway chance here in Toronto. Under 2 minutes now to go round 4.
Look at this. Tried to pull guard. Oh!
And look at Ortega's face.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that eye is bad. Man, Max is relentless. Body, head.
Ortega,
look at that body work, Joe.
Just digging.
Switching angles, cuts off.
Look at this.
Never there.
He's going for a guillotine. This is crazy.
And Holloway wisely will welcome Ortega back to his feet. Just over a minute to go in round 4.
His right eye, or excuse me, his left eye is a mess.
And an elbow for it as well. Oh, my goodness. They might not let him come out for round 5, Joe.
Insane.
Entry on a single here for Ortega. Holloway works his way to the fence.
Holloway effortless, though, with his takedown defense. It's so good.
The guillotine's there if he wants it, Joe. He don't want it.
No, he wants to beat him up.
He wants to just pound.
Vicious hook to the body there.
Look at that body work again from Holloway.
And upstairs. Look at that, full mount. He's going to take a leg. He's going to take a leg. Max got to be careful there. Get out. Look at this.
30 seconds to go in the round.
Ortega is busted up.
Holloway continues to work that body to great effect. And now back up top.
Oh, man. Oh, my God. That's like a 10-punch combo from Max.
Yves Lavigne watching the action closely. 20 minutes down, a massive bull run for Max Holloway.
He just looked at me and said, that close. Woo!
The doctors are going to take a look at Ortega. I think that eye might be shut.
It. I mean, he is a beaten man.
Yeah, he can't. Oh, okay, he can. It's underneath. It's not closing his eye completely yet, but he is taking a beating.
He is taking a beating, but man, this kid has heart.
These are the type of fights that have an impact on a career long term. You gotta wonder.
They're talking to the doctor right now.
Yeah, Doc, hold on. Give him a second. Doc, talk to him.
Hey, Max! Don't fuck around.
That's it.
Max Holloway has retained his UFC featherweight championship. Brian Ortega unable to answer the horn for a 5th round, and the celebration is on. Holloway still the best in the world. While Max Holloway just declaring himself the best ever, he will get no argument from the broadcast booth here tonight.
No
Told us he was going to close the show in round 4.
That's the best ever,
and that's exactly what he did.
There's never been a better featherweight champion.
And to the surprise of so many, he closed as a slight betting underdog here tonight.
That's ridiculous. I have no idea why that was the case. That didn't make any sense to me. I guess they were saying that based on him not being able to make weight for the Khabib fight and then the concussion symptoms that took him out of the July fight. But, man, that's the best ever.
And in the middle of that fight, when the chin had to hold up for him, it did for Max Blessed Holloway.
With all respect to Jose Aldo when he was a king, and he was a sensational king for a long time, I believe this is the best featherweight of all time.
This replay is brought to you by Nemiroff, bold character since 1872.
And they were trying to keep it going. The doctor said, no way. You can't see out of that eye. And they were just concerned that he had just taken way too many punches. And his heart, the heart of Brian Ortega, you can't deny it. And that, unfortunately, sometimes gets great fighters in trouble. And that was probably the case here. He was taking a beating. Towards the end of this round, he was shooting for takedowns. He was trying to pull guard. And Max Holloway was just masterful.
And Max Holloway is looking to stamp himself as one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters of all time, and he is already in that discussion. The numbers are just absurd. Not to make too much of it, but 236 out of 436 significant strikes landed, 54%. Absolutely incredible effort out of Max Holloway here tonight. And if he chooses to stay in this UFC featherweight division, it is going to take a Herculean effort from one of these other contenders to take out Max Blessed Holloway.
Yeah, I can't even think off the top of my head of who can challenge him at this point with that kind of output and that kind of volume.
The official decision is brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Get unlimited high-speed data all month long on the same network as T-Mobile. One final time tonight. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of round number 4, the doctor has called a stop to this contest. Therefore, the winner by TKO, and still the undisputed UFC featherweight champion of the world, Max Blessed Holloway.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with a winner, and still.
Hey, first of all, I gotta thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And second, I just gotta say, is there anyone else? Step forward, let's go!
Max, this was probably your toughest defense and your most masterful. Brian Ortega was absolutely a worthy opponent, but you put on a show tonight, man.
Hey, I told you. What I told you in the corner, I told you if this is the round. We didn't get it in the round, we got it at the finish. Hey, he's a tough opponent, he's a tough guy. Like you said, we probably see each other all the way to heavyweight because we like to eat, so it is what it is.
There was people doubting you coming into this fight. You were the betting underdog. Did that bother you?
Not at all. My fans got rich. You're welcome, my friend. Blessed era, 10 Island, baby. What's up? UFC Hawaii, take me home, Dana. It's about time. Let's go! We can get out of this cold weather to some warm weather and drinking Mai Tais on the beach, baby.
Now, there was some speculation before this fight. One of the things that Dana White had said was that he thinks you're too big for this weight class. But you made the weight and you made it easy.
Hey, I made it weight. I made it look easy. Hey, Dana White, I tell you what, Dana White, I want to be the number one pound for pound. If this guy's at 55, let's do it. If it's the daddest man, my good friend Daniel Cormier, bring it on. Let's go!
Do you plan on staying at featherweight or do you plan on moving up?
Hey, a king gotta defend his throne. If he leave his throne, another king can come. Come see me. Blessed era, baby, let's go. The Blessed Express is going home. UFC Hawaii, choo-choo.
It was an honor calling your fight, sir. Congratulations.
Hey, we gotta get me on the podcast. I'll tell Joe, let it go.
Anytime, sir. The best ever, ladies and gentlemen, the best featherweight king of all time, Max Holloway.
Well, if that doesn't get you on the Joe Rogan experience, I'm not sure what will. That post-fight interview brought to you by EA Sports UFC 3. Available now for up to 70% off. Buy today on Xbox One and receive a copy of Fight Night Champion to play through Xbox One. Backwards compatibility available for a limited time.
Woo!
Man, there is no doubt. No doubt.
There's no doubt. And look, there's no doubt, first of all, that he was healthy coming into this fight. He made the weight easy. So he can defend, and he can stay at this weight class if he so chooses. That's the best featherweight of all time, and that was a masterful performance. And Brian Ortega was as game as they come. He took some big shots. He ate a high volume of punches. He kept swinging. I'm happy they stopped that fight because he was probably going to take an even bigger beating in the next round.
Yeah, he would have done that into the 5th round. Ortega's all heart. Max was not going to stop that volume. He was not gassing out. He was not slowing down. That was not going to be any different in the 5th round of this fight. I agree with the referee and the doctor stopping that fight. Ortega was never going to quit and didn't need to take any more damage.
Yeah, it was the right move. It was a good move. This is a learning experience for Brian Ortega, who will move on to the next fight. He will be better because of this. He will understand that there's a guy out there that can do that to him. So going 14-0 is sensational, but going 14-0 and then getting stopped the way he got stopped, as bad as it feels now and as bad as it'll feel for the next couple of weeks while he heals up, that is a learning experience. He'll get the rub. He will be a better fighter because of that, especially because they stopped that fight and he didn't take the unnecessary punishment that he would have taken in the next round.
Well, Max Holloway has told me in the past, not only does he envision a future at lightweight, but also welterweight and even middleweight before his career is said and done. The bad news, though, for the rest of the featherweights right now, Max Holloway is not going anywhere.
UFC 231, Holloway versus Ortega, has been brought to you by Motel 6. You're ready to tap out? Book online at motel6.com. We'll leave the light on for you.
Chris Cyborg is the most feared woman in women's MMA, but Amanda Nunes has the best punching power in the history of the bantamweight division. This fight will decide a chapter in mixed martial arts history.
I'm the baddest mother up in here, and I'm about to make it clear.
If Amanda Nunes can beat Chris Cyborg, she'll be the first two-division women's champion.
I'm gonna rock you. I'll have you begging for mercy, oh.
Chris Cyborg, the most violent woman in all of MMA.
I'm dangerous.
Amanda Nunes has finished 14 of her pro wins.
She's a killer.
John Jones is back.
He is the most talented guy in mixed martial arts. But Gustafsson was the toughest fight of his career.
One of the most anticipated events of 2018. We got a lot of hits coming up. A look at our upcoming live event schedule. Next Saturday, the last UFC Fight Night on Fox. Kevin Lee and Ally Quinta in the main event. December 29th, as you just saw on pay-per-view, UFC 232, Jones versus Gustafsson for the light heavyweight title. You also have a true super fight to co-headline between Amanda Nunes and world beater Chris Cyborg. Then Saturday, January 19th, the UFC on ESPN era begins in Brooklyn, New York. The flyweight championship fight between Henry Cejudo and TJ Dillashaw. But this city and this night belongs to the still featherweight king, Max Blessed Holloway, and you sort of start throwing out superlatives and you run out of them after a performance like that. Truly one of the greatest you have ever seen, and you've seen them all.
I think he's the best featherweight of all time, and truly one of the greatest fighters of all time. And again, he put himself in danger in this fight. This wasn't a fight where he played it safe. I mean, when he came out for that 4th round, said, I'm going to stop him in this next round, he put himself in danger. I mean, he was in punching range. He got hit with some big shots in the 3rd. The 3rd, I think, was one of Brian Ortega's best rounds.
Absolutely, he landed some big shots.
He landed some good counters. I mean, the volume and the pressure and the...
Man.
I mean, the ability to switch stances with no hitches, and, man, what a performance. And what a performance against people doubting him, right? He came into this fight betting underdog, which is kind of preposterous.
It is.
The only thing that made sense was because we knew he had a hard time making weight for the Khabib fight, and there was the concussion symptoms rather that they were concerned with, which turned out to, I don't know what it was. I mean, who knows? Tonight, though, he took a shot. He was great. He took some big shots.
Right.
He took some big shots, and it just kept the pressure on him. I mean, he's sensational.
He's the real deal, man. He is the best of the best and the best ever in that division. And I'm curious to see what's going to be next for him. But there's some people out there that have beaten him at featherweight that are now lightweights that I'd like to see Max go and extinguish some of those losses that he's had. One of which, Conor McGregor.
Oh, yeah.
Come and get it. I want to see him fight Max now.
Oh, yeah.
That's a fight I want to see.
Sensational. Look, the volume that guy puts on people. Who's like him? I mean, who puts that kind of volume on you?
Well, and perhaps it's going to be a wrestler, you know, like a Khabib or a Chad Mendes type. But as we show you the current featherweight rankings, you know, most of those guys have fought Max Holloway. Renato Moicano was the guy who was brought in as a backup this week. His only pro loss is to Brian T-City Ortega, but again, it's hard to imagine after what we just saw any of these guys having too much for Max Holloway right now.
Moicano is a sensational fighter, and he has learned and grown from the Ortega fight. I mean, you're talking about a guy who is very smooth and professional, very highly polished, and has looked very good since the Ortega fight. He's still growing and developing, and he may very well be a champion someday. And, you know, that could be the next fight. I mean, you don't know. The guy's got a full arsenal, and you can't sleep on him. No doubt about it. But, man, what we saw here tonight was real next-level stuff.
Oh, man, you ain't kidding. I mean, the way that he's able to, if he misses with the right hand, he's southpaw, follows up, straight left from the southpaw stance. If he misses with that, he follows through everything. It's just brilliant.
I would like to watch him train. I really would. I would like to be there with him for a couple of days to see some of the techniques they work on in terms of his footwork and his drills and his ability to switch stances, which is just effortless. And his distance control is second to none. He's so good at sliding just out of the way and pop right back in. And once he sees you're tired, that dude just pours it on.
That's when he rips to the body.
Yep. Rips to the body and just keeps punches in your face. You never get a chance to breathe. There's no breathing and there's no resting. You just eat punches. That's it. You know, it's the Hawaiian Express coming straight down your face.
I'm telling you. And the ability to call your own shot at the highest level of mixed martial arts, as he did, right? Third round, little too close for comfort. It was an Ortega round. Comes over to you, calls his shot, and then goes out and dusts him in the fourth round. Who's do that?
Well, he makes you fight at a pace where you think you're competing with him, but he's just slowly gauging how much you're wearing out. And then once he sees he's got you, he just starts pouring it on like nobody.
Yeah, it's crazy that in this sport that man could have been doubted and the underdog coming into this title defense.
No more.
Crazy.
Yeah. You had a chance to make money, folks.
Yeah, you missed it. You missed it.
I think a lot of people cashed tonight, but this is the type of fight you go back to your hotel room and watch right away. Just a truly special athlete, and we are witnessing his prime right now. Joe Rogan, Paul Felder.
Pleasure,
all the
gentlemen,
pleasure over
always.
here. Great job. What a night here in Toronto, as usual. The executive producers of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC President Dana White, Ari Emanuel, and Patrick Weitzel. Our executive VP of Operations and Production is Craig Borsari. Our coordinating producer, Zach Candido, pulling double duty tonight in the Big Smoke. Tonight's show has been directed by the venerable Anthony Pasquale Giordano. Huge night in Toronto. Of course, Thiago Santos got us started on the right foot with a massive finish of Jimmy Manuwa. Nice showcase spot for the featherweight, the Canadian Hakeem Dawodu. He was way too much from bell to bell against Kyle Bochniak here tonight. Kamaru Usman was in the building, and he was watching the action closely at welterweight. Alex Cowboy Oliveira, all smiles walking in. He was masked in blood on the way out. Gunnar Nelson returns to the octagon and right back in the win column with a big win by submission. And that set the stage for the championship doubleheader. Valentina Shevchenko eventually is able to get that no longer elusive UFC flyweight championship. Joanna Jędrzejczyk was game, but she was not enough for Valentina Bullet Shevchenko. And then Max Holloway putting on yet another performance for the ages as he runs his winning streak to a cool baker's dozen. All right, with that, for Joe Rogan, Paul Felder, and the rest of our fine crew, John Anik saying so long from Toronto. We will see you in 3 weeks from Las Vegas for the monster that is UFC 232. Good night.